Welcome, everyone, to the NW Sports preseason football kickoff show presented by Batt Stevens Body Shop. Today we got AJ as our producer, Tony Fairchild, Keith Brown, and myself, Logan Bailey. So just want to thank Harvest Moon and Brothers Taco for catering and hosting the event. So make sure you guys help yourself. I think you guys already have to Food and Nacho Bar by Brothers Taco. And my dad, Mike Bailey, did some pulled pork as well. Water, lemonade are free inside. There's alcoholic beverages for those over 21 from Harvest Moon. Just want to thank everyone for coming out. We'll get things rolling here at 4:08 with Patrick Henry and Coach Inselman and players coming up next. All right, we're going to get things rolling a little early here, and we have Patrick Henry and head coach Bill Inselman, and he's got some players with him. I'll let him introduce who he has with him today, and we'll kind of lead into some questions here.
Okay, we've got Keevian Kreider. He was a first-team All-League Mike middle inside linebacker for us. We have Trent Johnson. He was defensive end and our starting tight end last year, returning. And we have Grant Swab, who started at safety and is going to be a starting wide receiver for us as well.
Good deal. All right, well, let's get into things here. How's the offseason been so far?
We had a tremendous offseason. We've had weightlifting and agility 4 days a week this summer, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Attendance has been tremendous. Luke George runs our weight room and has everything designed, oriented towards football. Just they've accepted and really bought into it this year.
Players, what is one thing you guys have really focused on in the offseason going into the 2025 season?
Weightlifting. Weightlifting's been a major part, trying to get big and strong this season. Agility's been, we've really hit that hard.
Probably my conditioning, because I want to stay on the field at all times, but yeah, probably my conditioning.
A lot of us have focused on staying together as a team, because if we want to do all these things together, like win state, win the league again, we got to be together as a team. And then I would say our strength, because keeping it up, we're going to get beat up during the season, and keeping up with our strength is going to keep us healthier longer.
Yeah, and I like how you guys all touched on, the strength and conditioning program, and agility, and all that plays into making deep playoff runs, which you guys are used to the last couple of years. So the team that can stay the healthiest and the strongest are ones that really make deep runs, and you guys did that last year. So that's great to hear. Keith or Tony, you want to go into the next question?
Yeah, I got one for you, Coach. You've been around for a long, long time. You always give credit to your assistants, your players, and you've been recently inducted into the Coaches Hall of Fame. How does that feel? And congratulations, by the way.
Thank you very much. Honestly, it's not something you think about when you go into coaching or even in your mid-career. I guess as you get older and you coach longer and something like that comes up, it's very humbling, and you're very appreciative of it. And it wouldn't be possible, like you said, without a lot of very good players and a lot of very good assistant coaches. And I want to tip my hat also to the NWOL, because I'll be the seventh coach from the NWOL to be. That says a lot about our league. The only two in this area not from the NWOL were Jerry Beauty, a tremendous coach, and Craig McCord. But otherwise, you got to go into the league. Liberty has two, Minor Kirshner and Rex Lindgren, and obviously John Downey at Archbold, Larry Fruth, Wasion, David Hansbarger. Yeah, I mean, you go right on down the line like that. Tremendous football coach. It's an honor.
Wow. Thank you. Tony?
Yeah, well, you guys had a great season last year, obviously, and just fell short of getting to that state tournament, state championship game. And so what's your guys' main focus? Are you guys really focused on winning the league, trying to win the league this year?
Yes, sir. Obviously, the team that beats Liberty, that. We're very focused on winning the league and then making a deep playoff run, get to Canton.
Yeah, like you said, I think our team really could go down to state and win it all, and that's my goal for the team. We have a lot of potential and a lot of new guys, and we have a lot of depth on the team, so I think we can make a really good run playoffs.
Yeah, I think we can win league this year. We got to beat LC, and we have to get over that hump. That's the big hump right now, and staying healthy is another thing. I mean, as long as we stay healthy, we can do it. We can get it. We can get to state. We can beat LC. Then we can achieve our dreams.
You guys gonna do the blonde hair again?
No, buzz cuts maybe though.
I like it. Coach, I got a question for you. Looking at your starters and stats on paper, your defense returns 8 starters and maybe one of the best, if not the best defenses in Northwest Ohio. Elaborate more on how your defense is coming along and how the job Bob and Ben George do as co-defensive coordinators.
Yeah, well, you're right. We have 8 starters back, and I think anybody would say that 2 positions you'd like to have back every year. One would be defensive end, and we've got Trent Johnson here and Grant Smith back at defensive end. We call them our bookends. That's a great starter. Then you got Keevian, the middle linebacker, and we have all 4 defensive backs. And you know as well as I do, if you make mistakes in the secondary, it turns into big plays. So we like the depth we have, but at the same time, we lost 2 first-team all-league outside linebackers, Jaden Punches and Lincoln Krager, who's at Northwestern. You don't replace kids like that overnight. So we've got a lot of competition going there, but we like some things we're seeing from kids. As far as defense, man, it's nice to have 2 defensive coordinators on your staff. Really, I have 3. If you remember, Elder Bob George was my defense coordinator after Scott Leonard left my first 17 years. And then when Ben came over from Napoleon, Uncle Bob kind of stepped aside and tutored him and worked with him. And then we got Aaron George, who was D coordinator for Kenny here at Tinora. So it is neat to watch the 3 of them bounce ideas off each other. And anytime you have more input, I'm a firm believer that you make less mistakes.
100%.
And they're tremendous at working with each other.
Keith, Tony?
I had one for Coach and then go into the players. But last year you lost Avery Wright midway through the year, and miraculously he came back to play. What did that mean for you guys, seeing him and then Coach as well, just to see Avery out there basically on one leg trying to get you through every single play week after week?
You know, that's one of the hardest things in coaching is when a senior gets hurt and they can't play the rest of the year, or, you know, they're not able to play up to their capability. And Avery was a tremendous player. We felt that with that knee injury, and he wanted to play defense bad after that, and they said, okay, you want to try it? Go ahead. And he got in that one game. He said, I can't even pivot or spin off of it. He says, I'm content with playing offense. But the heart and soul he had to lead our team and the role model and example he became, not just last year, but from his freshman year through his senior year, it was fun to watch the young man that he became.
Yeah, watching Avery hurt his knee real bad was kind of heartbreaking because he's a senior and he was a leader. But then seeing him come back, it was a lot of motivation seeing that he's giving it his all for all of us. So we give it our all for him as well.
Yeah, as a senior, dealing with an injury like that, it sucks. And if you got one more year left, you might as well just make the most of it, no matter what. And it meant a lot for us, for the team, because dealing with an injury like that, doing that for the team means a lot for us. So he's a good guy, and I wish him the best right now, and hopefully he's doing okay right now.
Yeah, obviously it sucks seeing Avery go down, but it felt really good when we got to see him get back in the pads again and go out there and go into a playoff run with us. And it showed a lot who he was, and we're just thankful for the opportunity that he got, again, to finish out his senior year.
Well, Coach, you're going to look a little different this year. Obviously, after losing Lincoln, it's going to look a little different on the offensive side. You think you guys are going to try to run the ball more this year?
I think that we'll be more of a balanced team this year. Our quarterback we have right now, if he runs the ball, I'm just going to say it is not designed. Okay? So that being said, last year it was designed, to be honest with you, around Lincoln because he was just a warrior. So, no, we will look different. At the same time, we love our running game. We think we have some backs by committee, meaning different backs that can give us different strengths. So we want to run the ball, but we're going to be able to mix it up more than we did last year, for sure.
For the players here, who's maybe been a teammate that's really stepped up this offseason, may surprise people this upcoming season?
Mitchell Prigge, he's made a big jump from last year to this year. He's getting a lot of varsity reps. He's competing, and he's looking real good this year.
I would say Mitchell Priggy too. He looked really good in that scrimmage last night, and I think he's going to open some eyes, and it's going to be a problem for the league.
Yeah, I'd say Mitch too, but I'd also say Jake Boss. Yesterday he showed a lot of what he could do on the end, and I think he could see a lot of time this year and help us lead into a big playoff run.
What's your guys' outlook this year, non-league and league? I see you got week 1 at Hicksville, then Ayersville, then a big week 3 game again against Columbus Grove.
Well, our schedule is tough.
Yes.
I mean, if you ask anybody in Northwest Ohio who are the 2 premier programs, they're all going to say Liberty, and they're going to say Columbus Grove. Okay, I think Grove, 4 of the last 5 years, Final Four.
Yep.
So we played 2 of the best teams in Ohio, small school football, in Liberty and Grove, and outside of that, you add your Archbolds and your Deltas, and it's for a Division VI school, it's a nice schedule, to say the least. So we know that, but to be the best, you got to beat the best, and until somebody can beat Liberty, they're the best, and everybody knows that. So it's just something we're geared towards.
Yeah, week 3 we definitely have a challenge, but it's just like the last few years. We got to prepare for it and be ready for what they bring. They lost a couple guys. We lost Lincoln, but obviously that doesn't change anything. We're still gonna play them, hope to win. We're going to win is our mindset in week 3.
Yeah, we're gonna do the same thing every week. We're gonna prepare for it because we have great coaches, and we're just gonna do our thing, and we're gonna surprise a lot of people this year, and we're just gonna keep doing what we're doing.
Playing those 2 teams in one season, it's a lot because they're both hard-hitting teams, but we're hard-hitting too, and we're thankful for that. I mean, it helps you up in the playoff run, seeing hard-hitting teams, and we're just excited to get back at them, and hopefully we can beat both of them.
Good deal. Well, guys, I think that concludes it from us. We just want to wish you best of luck this year, and we'll be rooting you on. So thanks for coming out. Give it up for Patrick Henry. All right, up next we have Bryan and head coach Scott Staten. Thanks for coming on, guys. We'll get things rolling here. So, Coach, how's the offseason been? I know I've seen some videos of you guys working hard in your offseason strength and conditioning program. So, kind of take us through what the offseason's been like for you guys.
Yeah, I think we've had a very good offseason. Winter workouts were awesome. We go 6 a.m., 4 days a week. Kids are there, 5:45, ready to go. We go right up till school, lift for about 3/4 of the time, and then we do some mental toughness stuff the rest of the time. Some of those videos are out there. Go to attendance. We got a new attendance board in the weight room, and utilizing that to showcase who's there and who's showing up. And we can refer back to that now when it's getting time for scrimmages and stuff of who's put the work in and who hasn't.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, I've seen some of you guys' stuff on social media. I absolutely love it. I mean, you guys, your program's bought in. You can see all the kids attending those early morning workouts. I'm sure you guys can attest they're not always easy either. So for you guys to get up early mornings and continue to strive to get better each and every day during the off season, that goes out to you guys and your work ethic. So that's awesome to see. So, Coach, coming into the 2023 season last year, you guys, you'd be young and inexperienced. What were the biggest lessons you learned from last season, and what did you take from that, and how can you improve on it in the 2025 season?
I think the biggest thing was just, maneuvering through the youth that we had, and then injuries as are going to happen during the year, but just not having the depth there and plugging guys in and maneuvering guys to all these different positions. We were forced to put kids in bad spots that maybe they didn't get the amount of reps they needed in that position, but we had to put them there because of low depth and low numbers. So that's the big thing going into this year. We're not having to do that with our roster almost doubling from last year to this year, with us 50 plus now. We're sitting at like 53, 54 right now. That's helping us out a ton because we don't have to maneuver kids around and have them playing outside linebacker on Monday and then on Thursday try to play inside in a game.
What's your expectations this year, Coach, in your second year at Bryan?
Yeah, I think we honestly take it one day at a time. Like we're so focused on the process. I think with running the programs like you have to now to compete with 11 months a year, of getting after it. If you're not focused and falling in love with the process, you're going to lose guys. So we just talk about how can we outwork everybody today. And I think that that's our mentality as a coaching staff. That's our mentality as a program. And we're going to show up and we're going to work every day, and the outcome is going to take care of itself. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Obviously, we want to see improvements in the win-loss column. I mean, that's what we're all judged on at the end of the day. But if we put the work in, we know that stuff's going to take care of itself.
Hey, Coach, you were talking one of your articles. You said something about you're looking for that explosive player to kind of put pressure on defenses. Have you found that person yet?
Yeah, actually, we've had some kids really step it up. Our passing game, down the field threats. That's something that it has kind of been missing the last couple of years. We were blessed in my first couple of years of being O coordinator over here that we had some really athletic receivers that went on and played at the college level. And then some years you just don't have that. So we had the bell cow running backs for the last 2 years of getting 20, 30 carries a game. But we're really seeing more explosiveness out of our receiving core as a whole. Some of the guys we have here, Wallace and Carlin here, have really stepped up and really able to press down the field. That's something we're looking to do so that guys can't pack the box against us.
Next one's for the players. What part of your own game have you guys worked on improving the most?
I think just getting in the weight room and getting faster, stronger is just the most important thing that we've improved on.
Yeah, definitely getting more explosive. And I've been watching film, reading guards, just doing stuff better this year. And now that I actually know really what I'm doing at linebacker.
I'd have to say being more agile on the line, getting left to right, picking up my guys, and making sure I could read the defense.
I've definitely been working hard on getting more explosive and working on my technique at wide receiver and just my footwork.
Good stuff.
What's it mean to represent the Golden Bears on a Friday night under the lights? You guys got some nice facilities over there. They upgraded them a couple of years ago. They're probably some of the best in the area. So what's it like to strap on that helmet and represent the community on Friday night?
I think to play for Bryan, it means something. The town, we've always had great support from our community and our town, and I think this point of season we put out there last year is not going to cut it, and I think we got to pick it up and get our town excited for it again.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a blessing. Have a lot of supporters, and I think we have a really good team right now. Everybody's working together, so.
Yeah, they would always show up for us last year, even when we weren't having our best. They'd come support, come show out, and really appreciate the fans for always doing that.
Yeah, like what he said, it was a great feeling every time we walked out there, and no matter what the score was, our team, fans were still cheering hard for us every play.
Coach, what would you say your expectations are coming into this season? Obviously last year was probably not as well as what you'd want to do. I mean, are you planning on competing for a conference title this year? Like, where are your expectations coming in the 2025 season?
Yeah, I think that we're seeking improvement. Number one, right out of the gate, right? Like 1-9 is never going to be acceptable.
Sure.
And that's hanging over our head as coaches, as players, and I think it's a good thing. Like we talked about it yesterday. We're hunting for win number one, and we don't want to hunt all season for it. We want to get it out of the way early. Kind of get that monkey off our back from last year and progress forward. But if we can have guys continue to work and continue to buy in, and that's the biggest thing. Like the thing with this team is no matter what has been thrown at us at this point, we've been able to rally around each other. Even things like that sounds dumb or cliche, but like the weather. We had a lightning thing the other day. We had to go inside. We had to hurry up. We had to watch some film. We had already lifted. Then we got the okay to come back out, and we snapped right back into practice, and we were getting after it right away. Where some of the teams in the past that I've been on, it would take a lot for them to get refocused and stuff. So that with that amount of work ethic we're putting in, amount of time we're putting in, we have to win more games. So we look to those teams that were mentioned earlier. The PHs, the Liberty Centers, the Archibalds, the Wassians, those guys. And our plan is definitely going to be to get to there. Like, why else are we coaching if we're not trying to get to the top? So our players, our staff is bought into pushing to get to the top.
Tony?
Well, guys, if I was going to come over to Bryan on a Friday night, what kind of walkout song am I going to hear? What's your guys' go-to that just gets you totally jacked up? You're going to keep it a secret? Don't know yet.
Hey, our media guys do a pretty good job. They put this little hype video together that they just shot the other day. We don't really have much say on the music, I guess, that comes out with it, but they do a heck of a job putting this thing together. That we come out, smoke's going, and we got all the stuff going there.
Awesome.
Now you talked about a weather delay earlier, Coach. What's your schedule like in this August? Are you morning practice, evening practice, especially with the heat and the hot temperatures lately? What's your practice schedule like?
Yeah, we're going 3 to 6 every day. We had this morning. We're trying to get in the groove. So this morning we went 8 o'clock. We scrimmaged last night, so we're up at 8 o'clock. Guys are there at 7:30, ready to rock this morning. So we went, film, got a good workout in, good run today. We went 8 to 10 today, but we go 3 to 6 most of the days. In the early summer, we went early mornings, but just we have some coaches on staff that aren't teachers that we would accommodate. So we moved a little bit later, but we're 3 to 6, 6:30 most days.
I think we got time for one last question here. You bring back a lot of offensive line and receiver experience this year. How does that help your confidence in this year's offense?
I think the continuity. I mean, it's we're not reteaching this thing from square one like we did last year. So the expectations that we talked about, the work ethic, the way we conduct ourselves, the way that we practice, the level in which we practice has all gone up because we're not taking baby steps every single day. We're not reteaching everything all the time. So with us having a general understanding of the offense, we got a new defensive coordinator this year, Brett Cordy. Similar style defense, but just different delivery. And it's been such a smooth transition. So now when we have that continuity going on, we're able to focus on playing fast and getting after it, aside from, doing the basic stuff that we had to do last year. So we're way ahead in my mind.
Players, one last thing. What's one game you're looking forward to this season?
I think game one, we take it one game at a time, and I think the only game I'm worried about is the first one.
Definitely week one.
Yeah, I'd say week one, bringing that environment back to home, first home opener, and just bounce back from last year.
I'd have to say game one, too. Definitely want to beat Van Wert. No Bryan teams beat Van Wert since at least I've been here, so it'll be a good feeling.
Be a good start to the season, too. So that concludes it from us, guys. So we just want to congratulate or wish you good luck for the upcoming season, and thank you guys for coming out. We'll be rooting you on along the way. So thank you, guys. Give it up for Bryan.
Okay.
Up next, we have the Montpelier Locomotives and head coach Andy Robinson. I'll let head coach Andy introduce what players he has here, and we'll get things rolling for Montpelier.
Thanks, Logan. We've got Griff Cooley here, plays running back, linebacker for us, senior. We got Jackson Staler, plays safety, wide receiver for us, Johnny Fritch, center, defensive line, and Logan Pontius plays defensive line, offensive line, all seniors for us.
Good deal. Well, let's get things started here. Coach, how's the offseason been? I know you said you had a scrimmage yesterday against Swanton, so how did that look for you guys?
Good off-season so far for us. I would say probably the best that we've had attendance-wise throughout the weight room, starting back in December all the way through our summer stuff. Very happy with that. I thought we had 4 really good 7-on-7s where we competed at a high level. And then, we had Swanton last night, and I felt that we competed really well. Happy kind of as a base starting point for us, getting ready. We got Fairview this next Friday, and that'll be a good test. Then getting us ready for Antwerp week 1.
Players, what's the offseason been like for you guys in your mind?
I think the offseason's been pretty good. We've been in the weight room. It's been the same kind of thing. Whole high school, we always have lifting once or twice a week in the offseason. We had good numbers show for that, so I think it's good.
The difference this year is we have a lot more freshmen. We have a bunch of 15 freshmen, so that's the big difference.
For me, the offseason's been really good because we're bringing back a bunch of starters and the offensive line. There's no one really new, so everyone can improve. They already know what's going on.
It's been fun getting all the guys back together. Besides the football part, we're all getting closer, becoming more of a team. So I like seeing that.
Hey, Coach, you've added 3 new teams to the TAC conference this year. You actually finally have a concrete schedule moving forward, it seems like. So what does that mean to you and the team moving forward in the schools?
Yeah, it's great. It's really good for the TAC. It's nice not having to just piece together 2 or 3 games throughout the year, and you're not sure maybe who you're playing until a month before. It's 3 good, solid programs for us. Whiteford's kind of a powerhouse up there in Michigan. won a state title a handful of years ago. So excited to get to compete against them. And Summerfield and Erie Mason just brings a new dynamic to kind of what the TAC is. Luckily, we've gotten a chance to see them by playing some of the area schools in the last couple of years. But we're excited to, get 3 new faces that we get to play this year.
This year, Coach, you're looking to be a little more balanced than last year where you were kind of more pass heavy. You guys trying to even that out a little bit more this year?
Yeah, and when you talk about being balanced, and I'm a big Mike Leach guy when it comes to that, and you always listen to him. I know he's a big pass guy, but balance doesn't have to mean, it has to be 50% run and 50% pass. I do think we've done some things this year. We have some talented kids that can run the ball in the backfield, but we have a pretty good quarterback too. So it's kind of figuring out week to week what's going to benefit us and using that to our strengths.
Gotcha.
Now, last year, you guys were incredibly young. I believe only 2 seniors and 5 freshmen getting some starting experience. How will that experience pay off this year heading into the season?
I think we've already seen it a little bit, only losing those 2 seniors, and really it was one of the seniors really only played defense for us. So we brought back pretty much everybody this year, and I think that experience already, we saw it yesterday against Swanton, especially a lot of these guys that we've up here. They do a great job of, we don't have to coach them with everything that's going on, or if we've got a young sophomore getting in his first couple reps or minutes, these guys can kind of help them out and coach them. And I think that's just been huge. They knew from the get-go this year, start of summer, what we were trying to do, what our goals were. If we're running routes, Jackson might be able to help out with some guys, or if there's running back reps or things that are going on. We've got Griff and we've got 2 linemen here that help our young dudes out. So it's huge having that experience back and not having to teach a bunch of freshmen what we're trying to do. We just jumped right in, and I think we're already way ahead of where we've been.
Excellent.
Yeah, Hayden, you've been a starter for 4 years now. How has each year have you progressed from a freshman to moving into your senior season now?
So I started freshman year, everything. I think progression's been good. It's like now, especially compared to like freshman year, I just feel like I'm more confident about everything. I'm never really worried about anything. No matter if I have like a guy that's good across from me, I'm not worried about it. I know I'm gonna get my job done, and it's just easy to help other people out.
Freshman year, came in at 125 pounds. I was a special teams guy. So this year, 3 years in, I don't second guess myself. Get my job done and help the young guys out.
Well, what's it like back there returning kicks, Griff? Oh, sorry, wrong one. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, my apologies. What's it like returning kickoffs on Friday night back there?
I think it's fun, If you can house one, it's like the greatest feeling ever because not many people do it, so I like doing it.
Tony.
Yeah, how would you guys describe this year's team versus last year's team to you guys? I know you said something about the offensive lines all together again. A little easier to get the job done compared to last year.
Yeah, it's a lot easier because with practices starting up, all of us already know what's going on, so we can go into more complex plays, and we already know the easy and basic stuff, so it'll be a lot easier to put in new things.
Yeah.
I think there's also a lot more aggression with the O-line this year, like as a whole, because everybody's kind of more confident. They're kind of going more full on at people, and you don't got to be as like baby everybody. They've all been around it, so you can just a little bit of tough love. It helps everything.
Maybe not thinking quite as much anymore, right? You don't got to think through stuff. It's just natural now.
Yeah, we have good chemistry, I feel like, for the most part, because almost all the positions are about the same. So it's just like you got to say we have a pass block, you got to pass something off. You just know it's going to be there. So,
gotcha.
For the players, who's been the biggest influence on your football career?
My older brother graduated in 2016. He played football at Defiance College for 2 years, and he's been a big help for me looking up to him when I was younger, and then now he's was one of our coaches. So going to him and knowing I have someone just to tell me the truth is tough love, and I look up to him a lot.
For mine, Jamison Grimm, he was a senior when I was a freshman. He helped teach me a lot of things in football. And also my dad, he played in the 91 football season, and he was a right guard, and he helped teach me a lot of things and different techniques and what to do.
I'd say Nathan Rummel. Hung out with him a lot in school and out of school. He taught me the game of football, and he was one of my buddies.
Probably Eli Fackler for the most part. He was a senior junior my freshman year. He was like someone that helped push me at practice and stuff. He was a big, strong guy, so it helped get good looks for like in game and stuff.
I like how you said the tough love with the older brother. I've got some younger brothers too, and I've kind of given them some tough love too. It may not be always what they want to hear, but it's good criticism that helps make them a better player at the end of the day. So I think we got time for about one more question.
Friday night at Antwerp. What are you guys looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to just going out there and hitting somebody as hard as I can every play and not having Rob yell at me for hitting freshmen. So that's probably it.
Looking forward to a team that I haven't seen be beat while I've been in junior high and high school. So go out and get a win Friday night.
I'm looking forward to showing how we have improved from last year and just going out and running everything almost perfectly and hopefully beating them.
Yeah, we like Jack said, we haven't beat them like as long as I've been in high school and junior high and stuff like that. So this would be if we can get that win, it'd be a good one. We haven't gotten that in a while, so
I guess we have 2 minutes left here, but this will be the final one. Maybe what's one thing that will surprise people about your guys' team this year, and that from everyone?
I think the biggest thing that's going to be a surprise is that first and foremost, we added about 20 kids to what we've had to the roster the last couple years. So we played with 20 the last 2 years. We dressed 17 for a playoff game 2 years ago, and this year we're sitting right at 40. So we've got a JV this year, which is going to help the program a ton going forward. I think people are going to be surprised by how hard these kids have worked this off season. Again, there's a lot of experience with this group. We've been able to, last year we were very vanilla with things we were doing because we had so many young guys, and we've been able to take a lot of those schemes and the things that we were doing and add to them and add some wrinkles and stuff. So I think you're going to see a very disciplined football team that's worked really hard in this offseason, and a team that's prepared, to put together a really good season.
Players?
I think people like the biggest surprise probably is I feel like we're gonna have a lot of hustle on the field. It's gonna be kind of like, I don't know. We were used to, like he said, we had like 13 guys or whatever at playoff year. We're used to running out without a break and everything. And this year, I just feel like we have so much more hustle. Everybody's going to the ball, flying to it. Even with our scrimmage yesterday, everybody was at the ball. So I'm excited for that.
I think a big surprise is going to be our O-line this year. I think in the past, we've been kind of looked down on our O-line. But these guys have been working hard. When I'm doing my drills and I look over at them, they're working hard over there. So I think they're gonna make a statement this year.
I think it's going to be leadership on the field. We got seniors at different spots. I played secondary linebackers. These guys are D-line. So in the game, you can help these younger kids out that are getting good reps. So I think that'll surprise people.
I think people will be surprised with how physical the offensive and defensive line are going to be this year compared to last year because we know what's going on and we know how to run it correctly. So I think that's what they'll be surprised about.
All right. Well, that concludes it from us. Great job, guys, and we wish you best of luck in the upcoming season.
Thanks for having us out.
Let's give it up for Montpelier. Up next, we have Evergreen and head coach Hunter Coles. And, Coach, I'll let you introduce who you have here today, and we'll get things started.
I got senior quarterback Bryce Bolger. I got senior wide receiver outside linebacker Quinny Eisel. I got senior offense and defensive lineman Joey Okus, and senior offensive lineman and linebacker J.J. Johnson.
Good deal. All right, well, let's get things rolling here. What's the offseason been like for the Evergreen Vikings?
It's been good. Lots of hard work. We got a lot of continuity back within the staff with the head coaching change, and I think that was big for us. So we're staying hungry. We got a good foundation to build off of the past couple years and, taking the right steps to go forward and get to where we need to be and want to be.
Players, what's the offseason been like for you guys?
The offseason's been pretty good. We're attacking every morning in the weight room and during the offseason at 6 a.m. And during the summer, we've just been flying around out on the field, and I think we're all coming together. We have a great team chemistry, and I can't wait to see what comes Friday nights.
Off-season, I think, has been great for us because ever since the winter, we've been showing up each week, every morning before school, putting in the work, and now we're starting to see the work really come together now that we're out on the field and just been really good.
I think it's been really good too. We've been challenged every day. Never felt like we were like let to slack or anything like that. So getting that from day one and seeing it all come together before game time is great.
Along with putting the work in the weight room and on the field, we also have to be looking at the playbook, and everyone's been getting their knowledge in and understanding the plays.
Keith?
Yep. Last year, guys, you made the playoffs for the first time in 40 years. 40 years. And with all the coaching transitions you've had in the last probably 4 years under you guys, what did that feel like once you walked off that field?
It was a great feeling, you know. It's just excitement, you know, getting to do something that's like really never been done since I think it was 1984 was, I don't know, just fun at the end of the day. Great.
Going off what Bryce said, I mean, it was just a great feeling because it was a big thing for our community with how many people would come out and watch, and we just had a lot of support. I feel like we're just starting a legacy here, and we're going to continue to show up to the playoffs and do it more.
It was great. We stacked Piper Field full of fans, but losing it was not what we wanted to do. So it's just kind of on to the next step, win a playoff game.
Pure joy. It's amazing to win a game for 40 years and be the first to do it.
Tony?
Hey, Coach, you're like the fourth coach in 5 years or something like that. So, I mean, obviously you want to build some stability. What's your plan moving forward?
Yeah, just with the change this year, continuity was one of the biggest things just as a staff focal point. And, you know, we did a good job bringing most of our staff back, which I thought was huge moving into this season. Just the foundation that we were able to build the past couple years as a staff. Now we get a chance to build on that, make the tweaks we need to in order to move forward, continue the winning tradition that we've had the past couple years, and moving forward and, you know, reaching new heights.
I got a question for Bryce. You know, you enter your third year as a starter. How has your confidence and leadership grown since your first varsity snap?
Yeah, my confidence has grown a lot. I think my sophomore year, that was just a learning year. And last year, I had a ton of confidence, and it kind of showed off. And this year, during the offseason, I feel like I've gotten a lot stronger and faster. And I'm just ready to get out there and show out all the confidence I have. And I got a great group of guys around me. And I'm excited to see what we can do this year.
Good deal.
You just go down the line. What's every one of your expectations for this year?
My expectation is to compete with the best teams in the league, score a lot of points on offense, and just beat the best teams in the league. We want to be the best, and hopefully that happens this year.
My expectations is to get back to the playoffs this year again, and hopefully this year we can win a playoff game this year. And I just believe that this team can do all of that, and we've been putting in all the work, and I just believe they'll be able to score fast, and our defense should be able to keep up.
My expectations are to win a playoff game. I don't think we should stay still and just hope for making the playoffs. We need to keep going up that stairs well and hopefully get a state championship down the line.
I expect our defense to hold every single team accountable for every single touchdown.
I'm going to ask. I want to even ask you, Coach. What's the game you're looking forward to this year?
I mean, I got to say week one, obviously, you know, just going in as a new head coach, just, you know, really putting our stamp on the season, scoring a lot of points, you know, starting off right. That's really the week I'm looking forward to. And then, you know, continuing on from there.
Kind of a follow-up with that. Do you feel like there's a lot of pressure coming into the season following a season like you guys had last year? You know, like Keith had said, you know, first playoff since 1984 or something like that. Do you feel a lot of pressure coming into the 2025 season?
I don't know if I'd say pressure too much. Like I said, it started with the continuity we were able to keep with the staff. So that really helps build this confidence with the players. So it's more or less just executing, doing what we need to do, and continuing hard work.
Question for Bryce and then the rest of the guys. Bryce, I feel like you're a fifth-year senior. It's like I've been talking about you for 5 years now. Does having Coach Coles back as offensive coordinator for you the last couple of years and now transitioning to the head coaching role, just kind of a smooth transition for you and the rest of the guys as well, with him being somebody that's been on staff?
Yeah, it's been huge. I've had him since my sophomore year, being the offense coordinator, and I feel like we've grown close, a good relationship. Understanding his playbook is just getting it better every day, and ready to go out there and show it this year. And we got a great group of guys, and I think it's been good having Coach Coles around.
Yeah, I think it's great that Coach Coles was able to stay and he took over, because I feel like it just helps with all the players, and the transition from head coaches can be hard sometimes. But with Coach Coles stepping up to do this, it's made the transition very easy, and just learning the plays and stuff, it hasn't been as hard as it usually was.
I think the best thing is trust. It's hard to build trust in a new coach, but having him since our sophomore year, like Bryce said, we already have that. We know what he's capable of, and we know that we can go to his standard and play some good football.
When I heard Coach Bach was leaving, I thought numbers would drop. But when Coach Coles took over the program, we invited the middle school to come up. We grew numbers and got even stronger.
So another question for you guys. What's the most challenging part of each one of your guys' positions? Obviously quarterback. I mean, we got that. But
just reading the defenses, and I just need to take what they give me. I can't force anything. I just got to go out there with total confidence and belief in my guys that will get open. And I just got total trust in the guys, my linemen and my wide receivers, and about it. Just give what they take what they give me.
I feel like playing outside linebacker, the key to it is being patient, and you can't just fly up and screw up. So you'd have to be patient and really count on your teammates and make them count on you.
I'd say for O-line, giving 110% every play, which I know every player has to do that, but I make one mistake, Bryce gets hit, that could cost us a season. So just every play, hitting someone pretty hard and keeping them away from Bryce.
Rebounding off what Quentin said, you got to be disciplined. You got to stay your course and do your job.
I think I got time for one last question. So overall outlook on the NWO this season. Everyone knows it's a tough conference. A lot of tough opponents. You have your Patrick Henrys, your Liberty Centers. You guys kind of finished middle of the pack last year. What's your kind of outlook going into the season, and what's it going to take for you guys to finish towards the top?
Yeah, tough league, but last year great season, and I think we got a lot of motivation from that, and we're going to continue to grow. And I think we're going to be at the top of the league and compete with the best teams in the league. We're going to give it everything we got and show them why we need to be respected a little bit more.
Yeah, it is a very tough league that we play in, especially with Liberty Center and PH, like you said. But I believe that our team has the players, and I feel like we are able to compete at the top of the league and once again finish higher in the league.
Like Quinny said, last year we showed them we can compete with about anyone, having long, hard games. I mean, that double overtime with Delta. But I want to stay up there, not dwindle, and hopefully third, second, or take out first.
I agree with Joey. Just work as hard as we can and get as high as we can.
All right. Well, guys, I think that concludes it from us. Great job today. We're going to be rooting you on for the season, and good luck. And thanks for coming out, guys. Give it up for Evergreen. Hey, thanks again, guys. Appreciate it.
Batt Stevens Body Shop is your #1 voted auto body shop in Northwest Ohio. We are your experts on all makes and models and are the only Chrysler, Ford, and GM certified collision repair center in the area. Located in Jewel, Ohio. Give us a call today at 419-497-3111 to schedule your free estimate. Come check out the Batt Stevens Body Shop difference.
Craving tacos and Mexican food for your next event? Brother Tacos Catering in Defiance is here to serve up fresh, delicious flavors everyone will love. Perfect for parties, work events, or family get-togethers. Call 567-344-0055 to book your catering today and check them out on Facebook. Brother Tacos Catering. Tasty Mexican food made easy. DSN Sports is your go-to business for purchasing uniforms, equipment, spiritwear, and anything else your athletic program needs, giving you more time to impact lives on the field. With over 1,200 sales professionals who live, work, and serve in your community, you're always just a short drive or phone call away. Be sure to give your local sales rep and Jim Garris a call for any of your athletic supply needs. For 26 years, Burkholder Taxidermy has been Northwest Ohio's trusted full-service taxidermist. From game heads to lifelike mounts, we provide exceptional quality and craftsmanship. Preserve your memories with Burkholder Taxidermy, where experience meets excellence. Located at 19331 Buckskin Road, Defiance, Ohio. Give them a call at 419-782-9538. DeLarber Concrete and Hauling is your go-to provider for concrete and hauling needs. Flat work, pole barn floors, driveways, and patios. Hauling services for stone, mulch, and dirt. Call Josh for your free estimate at 419-576-0401. Escape to Harvest Moon Golf Course, 110 beautiful acres at Meekus and Domersville Roads in Defiance County. Less than 15 minutes from downtown Defiance, we offer 18 scenic holes with water features, sharp dog legs, challenging greens, and open fairways surrounded by peaceful woods. After your round, unwind at Harvest Moon Winery and enjoy our finest wines while soaking in the view. Planning a celebration? Our hall is available for your next special event. Call 419-497-4675 or visit us today. Harvest Moon, where golf meets great wine. Looking for a top quality used RV? Kuhn Truck and RV in Sherwood. Family owned since 1976. Specializes in Class B and B Plus motorhomes. Handpicked for quality and low rust. Ron personally sources most of our inventory from the South, so you get well cared for rigs ready to roll. Want to talk now? Call our office anytime at 419-899-2020. Ask for Luke or Levi, and we'll get you taken care of. You can also browse truckandrv.com or stop by 240 Ohio Route 18 in Sherwood. Kuhn Truck and RV, honest family service and rigs ready to roll. Call 419-899-2020. Marco's Pizza is honored to sponsor NWO Sports, serving your pizza of choice in Northwest Ohio. Defiance, Archbold, Wauseon, Delta, Bryan, Napoleon, Paulding, and Montpelier. Order online at marcos.com today. Since 1989, Rupp Rosebrock has been leaders in quality construction and pre-engineered structures, serving Northwest Ohio's healthcare, schools, businesses, and communities. Our team partners with you every step, delivering results on time and on budget, because every project counts. Call 419-533-7999 or visit rupprosebrock.com out of Liberty Center, Ohio.
All right, we'll get things rolling here just a little bit ahead of schedule. Up next, we have the Liberty Center Tigers and head coach Casey Moeller, and he's brought some players along with him, so I'll let him introduce who he has with him today.
I've got Caden Crimebrink, Tyler Roars, and Isaac Orth.
All right, good deal. Well, let's get things rolling here. You know, what can I say about last season? I mean, again, you guys make it to the state championship. What a run. What has the offensive or off season been like for you guys, you know, coming off a run like that?
It's been pretty busy. We've had a lot of guys be really committed in the off season. Weight room attendance was really good, speed and agility work, things like that. And it hasn't been just a small group. We've had really good numbers, and hopefully that translates into some success for us this year.
Players, what's the offseason been like for you guys?
It's been a lot of just commitment to the team, really getting better, going to the weight room, showing up. I think that's a big thing for us, is just making sure everyone's committed to coming, because it shows us that we're building a brotherhood, we're building a team, that we can work things out.
Kind of like what Coach Moeller said and Crimebrink said, kind of like it's been busy between weight room and like speed training. We've been really busy, but we've been trying to focus on the little things and trying to get the little things perfected.
Yeah, just like those guys said, we're lifting 3 times a week with the team, and we're lifting our own. I mean, it's going to really pay off. Just like looking at the guys from last year, lifting is going to really help us succeed this year.
Now, Coach, I know you talk about your team being committed. What are numbers looking like for you this year?
On the roster right now, I think we've got 67 guys, which is a few down from last year, but it's still a really good number for a school our size. So our retention from last year was pretty good. Maybe a few guys we didn't get back, but that's a pretty good roster size for us as long as we got the right guys.
Definitely. I'm going to go into the next question real quick. There's been a lot of talk about your offensive line this season and it being one of the biggest that Liberty's ever had. Why don't you just go ahead and talk about that and what the offensive line is going to bring to the table this season?
We've got a couple guys back from last year that have some really good experience. Hunter Spangler is the senior who will probably anchor us at center. He started, half the games as a sophomore, started state finals, state champ in the shot put. So he's going to be our leader. And then Max Walker's another senior who's a returning starter at guard. And both of them are going to be kind of the guys we look to. And then Kellen Weimer is a junior who's back. He got bigger and stronger, has some Division I offers. And so there's a lot of excitement with surrounding those three guys. And then we've got guys that are competing for two other spots, at guard and tackle. We've got tight end with a little bit of experience back, and we got guys battling there. So, but size-wise, it may be one of our bigger lines. Guys competing, Gabe Clapp, Sawyer Bockelman, Deegan Schwagert, Logan C. Fuentes are all big, strong kids, and we're expecting big things out of them.
Yeah, definitely. And, I had to ask that question. I was a former offensive lineman and absolutely love the physicality and the way your offensive line plays. So always keep an eye on them throughout the year.
Hi, Coach. You've gone 56-6 in the last 4 years. Has it ever become a grind to you or the team? And, how do you keep everybody level-headed and motivated? I guess, does winning ever get boring?
Winning does not get boring. Long season can become a grind. It's a lot of weeks, and again, it's a huge commitment. Once you start and you go on a run, it's like 6 days a week for the players, 7 days a week for the coaches. And if you get to December or Thanksgiving weekend, you're looking at 4 full months without a break. So that can be a grind, but winning does not get old. Especially, the further you go in the playoffs, and every week it seems like there's fewer and fewer around, and the focus is more on you, I guess. It's exciting. The community loves it, and the kids really get into it in the school, and it's really why you do what you do. I mean, when you've got the support that we have, and it's exciting, and it's kind of an experience you're not going to get after high school. So these kids really embrace that.
Well, Coach, you lost some really good players from last year. Waylon Rentz, Xander Zeider, Cam Colley. Who are some of the people that you're looking at step into some of those roles?
Well, Tyler and Isaac and Caden are guys that were not full-time starters last year, but played a lot of special teams and had some spot starts here and there for us. And so they have experience, and we're expecting big things out of them. Ethan Gray's a kid that I think is going to be a big contributor for us, who was injured most of last season as a sophomore, but we're expecting big things out of. Baxter Barrett's another kid who was playing really well for us last year until an injury ended his season. And then some guys that just had to wait their turn, Deegan Schwagert, Logan C. Fuentes are guys I've mentioned already. Jackson Lonzak's another one. JT Olcrew. And the list just goes on and on with guys that we're expecting to compete. And even if they don't become starters, we're expecting them to contribute for us in a big way. And then we've got young guys that, surprise you every week and every year, that hopefully, if they're not ready right away, we look to continue to develop throughout the season, and maybe by mid-season or even by the end of the season, we can count on those guys to give us valuable time.
I got a question for the players next. The last couple of years, you guys have made it state championship, came up just runner-up. How do you take that experience of continuing to make it to the state championship? Obviously it's been a great experience. You guys made a deep playoff run, but how do you take that and motivate you? And, coming to this season, is it hard to hit reset because of all the success you guys have had, or how do you stay grounded with all the success you guys have had?
I'd say it's not really hard to hit reset because we have a zeal almost to get back to that spot. Like, we're all driven and we're all going to work as hard as we can to get back to that spot because we want to win it. It's really just, we're all just kind of resetting our minds. Like, it starts with week 1. And then every week after that, we just got to prepare to beat the best in the state.
Well, obviously making it to state's a big accomplishment, but winning it's a whole nother level, and losing, it sucks, honestly. You think about it every time you're in the weight room and that kind of stuff, and it just pushes you to go harder.
I feel like that most of the guys down there are just like, we've lost 2 years in a row. It takes more. I mean, that's kind of like our team motto this year. We understand that it's going to take more than the last 2 years to come home with it.
Coach, what do you do during the early practices? You've had so many, like you pointed out earlier, so many practices and games. Is there anything that you've done different in the last couple of years, starting with August, to some of the players that have been through all those practices the last few years, to cut back or just start everybody out fresh? Day one, here's what we're going to do.
Well, it's been kind of interesting. You know, always kind of have a plan or a template of what we want to do and an implementation schedule. And we don't want to go too fast. We don't want to overload anybody. We want to make sure we get our bread and butter stuff in and before we start adding things. But it was pretty early this year where, you know, a couple of the assistant coaches said, you know, I think we need to do more. These guys are getting bored. And I think that is a byproduct of having, you know, 6 extra weeks of practice the last 2 years, plus 5 weeks the year before, 4 weeks the year before that. So we've, you know, these seniors have played, you know, already 4 full seasons in 3 years. So they've got extra practice, and it's such a blessing when you've got that and they can retain it. And it, you know, you feel like you got to start over from ground zero at the beginning, but you know, our team has set a pretty good IQ and pick up on things, and so we've been able to move a little bit faster than what we probably have been in the last few years because of that extra time.
Tony.
So, guys, I want to ask you a question. If you could describe how you think, you know, 2025, give me one word or one phrase to describe 2025.
One word would be effort. I feel like our effort needs to be 100%. We got to be fully motivated to the team, and I mean, we just got to grind it out.
I'd say intensity. Our intensity needs to be up there because obviously there's somebody that's better in the state than us right now, and I think our intensity just needs to get up.
I'd say finish because the last couple of years we haven't been able to finish off the season the way we wanted to. So just putting in that extra work, finishing every rep, taking mental reps when we're not in, just finishing off everything we can do.
The coach said you had 67 players. What do you guys do as upperclassmen to get the underclassmen up to standard for Liberty Center standards?
I'd say encouragement's a big thing. Just being able to like encourage them, help them when they don't understand something. That's going to help teach them and make them feel like they have a spot. Because later in the year when we're in week 16, we're going to need a scout team that's going to make us better every single week. That's going to prepare us to beat the best team in the state. So just being able to have them feel that they're one with the team is going to be big for them.
I think our mentor groups help a lot. We have mentor groups that all the underclassmen are in, and us seniors lead it. So if they need anything, they have a question, anything like that, they always ask. And then they're watching us in practice too. We kind of, seniors, try to set the standard so that they see the effort that we give and all that kind of stuff. And hopefully they give it too.
You know, kind of just what Kaden and Tyler said, that we need to be encouraging at all times. And even through like rough times, we just got to be uplifting, and we need to show the underclassmen how hard we work and how our work is going to push us to be better than what we have been.
All right, I got one last fun one for the players here, and then we'll wrap things up. Say you guys got one song to listen to before you walk out on the field, your very last game, you need to get pumped up. What song is that song going to be?
Monster by Skillet.
I would say Hell's Bells.
It's a solid choice.
Back in Black by AC/DC.
All right, a lot of AC/DC.
Coach, got to answer that.
Yeah, Coach.
Winning It All by the Outfield.
Ooh. There you go.
Good deal. All right. Well, that concludes everything from us. We just want to wish you guys good luck this season. We'll be following you closely, and thanks for coming out, guys. Give it up for Liberty Center.
Thanks for having us.
All right. Well, let's get things rolling here. Up next, we have Delta. And today we have Delta assistant coach Michael Fredo. We'll have him introduce what players he has with him, and we'll get things rolling for Delta. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having us. I'm going to let these guys introduce themselves.
I'm Carter Mitchell, number 65, starting right guard.
I'm Wyatt Flickinger, number 55, starting DN.
I'm Gary Valentine, number 7, defensive end and tight end.
Hayden Bolton, number 8, DB and running back.
All right. We'll kick things back to Coach here and start off, and then we'll kind of ask you guys questions. So, Coach, what's the offseason been like for the Delta Panthers? And, you had a scrimmage today. How was that looking? And we'll go from there.
We had a really good offseason, very high level of commitment across the board from the kids in our program, whether it was incoming freshmen or the upperclassmen who were already in the school. We have about 49 kids on our team, and I would say at least 85 to 90% of them are multi-sport athletes. So they did a good job of making sure they were in the weight room even when they were in season. And we love that they're multi-sport athletes so they can continue to compete and refine skills in other areas. So overall, a really productive offseason for these guys. And as you said, we had a scrimmage this morning against Edgerton, and it was good battle, a lot of good work with a really physical, good Edgerton team.
Players, what's the offseason been like for you guys?
Off season for me, mostly been working, but maintaining my body just to get ready for the season.
It's been a grind. Just in the weight room, getting big, so we can have the power to do better than we did last year and just keep going up the charts.
The offseason for me, it's definitely been busy. You got to find your balance between football and work and whatever else you're doing, and it takes a lot of commitment to keep yourself balanced between those things and keeping yourself healthy. Football is definitely a tough sport. Can't really take it for granted. So you got to do a lot over the offseason to make sure you're ready for the actual season.
For my off season, it was a lot of weight room. Trying to get bigger. I was a lot smaller last year, so I didn't want to be the guy getting pushed around this year. But also along with the lifting, there was a lot of taking care of my body, staying in decent shape, not run a marathon shape, but when the season starts, we're able to actually run and we're not too worried about conditioning ourselves. We can actually just practice and learn what we need to learn.
Keith?
Yeah, you guys started 6-1 last year, but unfortunately you lost 4 or 5 straight. What did that 6-1 start do for your confidence level each and every week as it progressed through the season?
I think it boosts our confidence a lot. It made us realize that we're not the bottom. We're up there with the teams. We can compete. But like you said, the losses at the end, it was a lot of overconfidence. Our ego got the better of us. We thought we were better, too good for those teams, and then we came into it, and they knocked us in the mouth, and we're going to make sure we don't do that again this year.
Yeah, I think the 6-1 start for us definitely boosted our confidence because years prior it's just been, here and there, winning a couple games. We haven't had that start in a long time. So I think it was a good confidence boost for us all, but we need to kind of take that and move in stride and not let like Caden said, our ego get the better of us.
Yeah, the 6-1 start, it was good, but there's always room for work, and we obviously needed a lot more work than what we showed after those consecutive losses. I just believe that if we put more work in this year, we can have a much better record than we did last year.
Yeah, like these guys said, the 6-1, it really boosted our confidence, and I think as the weeks progressed, our practices got more intense, and we really started showing some prowess, and helped us a lot.
Coach, I got one for you. Last year, you guys had a lot of problems holding on to the football. I think it was 14 fumbles in the season. I think you guys had 5 fumbles in that double overtime loss. What have you guys been doing this offseason to kind of correct that?
Well, I think a lot of that just comes from strength and poise in the moment. So, like a lot of these guys have mentioned, a high level of dedication to the weight room, and then poise in the moment. You talk about the finish of the season, the game in which that occurred, the double overtime game. Being able to realize and understand that you belong there, you don't have to press, you don't have to do anything differently, to be able to fall back on your training and trust your training. And I think that's, like these guys alluded to, some of the things that we're trying to build towards and be more competent in the moments.
Gotcha. Coach, I'll go into the next question. You return a stable of backs and Marcus Noggle, Vincent Martinez, Gunnar Taylor. How confident are you guys in building the offense around that trio into this season?
Coach Vickers, Coach Bainfeld, Coach Moore, Coach Nagel, all the offensive guys, I'm sure they're very confident, and they feel very good about building the offense around those guys. Hayden's in that mix as well, and we've got some other younger guys that are gaining some experience and gaining some reps, earning some reps to compete and be a part of that stable as well. When you look at that group, they're a group that, by and large, they can do lots of different things. They're not just ball carriers. They don't just hit a trap. They don't just bang belly. It's blockers. They're receivers. They are excellent at their fakes. So because they can do all those things at a high level and continue to improve in those areas, it opens up a lot more opportunities throughout the offense.
What's your passing game like this year, Coach?
I don't really want to speak out of turn. I would say in development.
Question for all of you guys, Coach included. What was the biggest lesson you took away from last season?
When you have a season like that, especially the way it finished after the high of that start, there's a lot that you can take away. But for speaking for myself personally and echoing some of the things that Coach Vickers has said, it's just how far we still need to go. You had a team up here before us, the standard of the league. We're sitting at a team meeting in week 8 last year, and Coach Vickers starts the meeting by saying, all right, if you're going to do it all in the state of Ohio, you are now at the halfway point of your season, because it's going all the way through week 16. And when you think about that and you look at what Liberty Center has done as the standard of our league and really the standard of Northwest Ohio, it shows you that you really can't be too confident. You really can't be content. And there's always more weights to lift. There's always more reps to take at practice. And there's no substitute for work. That, to me, was the biggest takeaway.
I'd say the biggest takeaway is don't get too cocky. I think that 6-1 lead, it really made us think like, oh, we're good right here. You know, we can keep playing at this level and we'll keep winning. But really, you just need to push through and keep getting better and better as the weeks progress.
Yeah, like Carter said, you just gotta have to want it more and just put more work in. I think we need to be more intense throughout the year too. I feel like we kind of fell off. It's just the drive to want to win. If you're okay with where you're at, then you don't want it that bad, I guess.
I think another big takeaway from that end of the season would be just for us. I think the start of the season kind of opened our eyes to what was the capabilities of what our team could be and how good we could be. And the end of the season was really an eye-opener on what we needed to get better at. I mean, we were right there in all those games, but doing these things in the off-season and taking these extra reps, working out more, doing these things can kind of push us over that hump and pull it out in those close games, which is something that it'll come with experience. And I think this team definitely has what it takes to push us in that direction.
My biggest takeaway from last year is every play matters. I think that if you go back and look at the schedule, there's like 3 or 4 of the games that were within 1 touchdown. So that's 1 drive. And then we go back and look at the film and see at least 1 guy in every one of those plays taking the play off. And then it just so happens that at the chance, when you take the play off, they go run a touchdown right past you. But I think if we focus in every play and know that every play matters, then we don't get those touchdowns scored on us, and we actually end up winning those games.
Well said. I think that pretty much concludes everything. I think we're running out on time here, but I want to thank you guys for coming out today. Great job, and we'll be rooting you on for this season. So good luck, guys, and thanks again for coming out. Give it up for Delta. We'll keep things rolling here. Up next, we have Edgerton and head coach Brody Flegel. We'll have him introduce what players he has with him today, and we'll get things rolling.
Bryce Schrader, senior.
Maddox Baker, senior.
Carter Gibson, senior.
All right. Coach, what's the offseason been looking like for the Edgerton Bulldogs?
Attendance in the weight room has been great. We have a lot of guys that are multi-sport athletes, so they balance those roles well. We have great attendance throughout the summer in the weight room. Not only with the summer attendance, these guys have jobs, they're committed, they're on time. So very, very pleased with our summer and our conditioning and our weight room attendance. But now we are at the early stages here of the preseason, and we're ready to keep things moving.
Guys, what's the offseason been like for you guys?
Work. It's like a job, but a job we all enjoy.
Just what Coach said, been in the weight room, getting bigger for the season start.
Yeah, just like Maddox and Coach Flagel said, just making sure we're showing up to the weight room and working hard and never taking time off.
Now, Coach, I got a question for you. I had read some of your preseason comments about, Maddox being back for his third year and you kind of building the offense around him. And I kind of like that in the sense that, at high school, you don't always get to pick and choose, which players you have. And sometimes you got to really kind of mold your offense, around some of your better players. So why don't you just kind of touch about that, and we'll kind of go from there about your offense.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, at D7 football, I mean, you're rolling with what you got, and we're happy with who we have returning this year. We're very excited about that. But yeah, I mean, he's a 3-year starter. It's kind of everything's kind of run through him offensively, and we're gonna put our players in a position where they can be successful. And you always hear the term players formation plays, and that's kind of what it is at the D7 football. And we're going to get put our guys in an opportunity to be successful and compete on Friday nights.
100%. I mean, I totally agree with you. It's not like you're out there recruiting like a college. I mean, you can't recruit kids to fit your offense, but I like how you adapt and, like you said, putting players in a position to succeed. And, that's great. And the teams that can do that have a lot of success.
Got a lot of offensive line returning, Coach. Is that going to help with your consistency and protecting Maddox back there this year?
Yeah, I love that word consistency, and that's been a focal point this summer, and it's going to continue to be a focal point. But yeah, to speak on our O-line, we do have returning players up front, and we did move one of our tight ends to tackle this year, and we're excited about that, Mr. Noah Weaver. So yeah, I like what we have up front. We certainly were tested today with a really good Delta team. We got a lot of things that we need to fix and improve on, but it goes back to that consistency piece. And there were times last year where we had really good quarters, maybe 3 good ones, and then a bad one, and we can't have that. We got to be a more consistent football team.
Well, Coach, this is your 6th year at the Realm over there. What are you doing, I guess, what have you learned over the past years about these guys and what your expectations in 2025?
I mean, our expectations are always high. We always talk about the standard. We're never lowering our expectations. It's always the bar has been set. And I was fortunate enough to coach under Ben Wilhelm, who really taught me what it took to be a head coach and all the detail and preparation that goes into it. So these last 6 years, we've fine-tuned certain things, but it's been fairly consistent. I think too often, if something goes bad, we hit the panic button and we feel like we need to change things up. But I think that consistent piece and just keep showing up every day, put in the work, and things will work itself out.
Gotcha.
To the players, what do you feel like the team's biggest strength is heading into this season?
Just the part how we are a very well-rounded team. We got 11 seniors this year, so we all been there together. A lot of us been starting 2 or 3 years, so
I'd say working together well because we've all played with each other for a while now, so it helps us out.
Yeah, like they said, we got a bunch of returning guys, most of them being seniors, so we've grown up together, so we know how each other play and we know how to take each other, so it helps us work good together.
Are you guys pretty close off the field? Do you guys do a lot of team bonding stuff or hang out?
yeah.
What's your guys' go-to?
We like to go out to eat together. There's this Mexican restaurant in Bryan we tend to meet up at quite often. It's just fun stuff like that. I remember a year or 2 ago, we have summer competitions, and the winning team got to go to B-dubs. Well, the rest of the team, we all went to a buffet place.
Guys?
I'd say golfing.
Hanging out at each other's houses and playing pool ball, just always wanting to compete and have fun.
I think we've asked this question every year, at least to Coach Flagel as well. Edgerton, playing home games there is probably our favorite venue to visit. I'm sure it was Logan and Tony and AJ's favorite place to play. What's it like strapping on that helmet Friday night, running down that hill through the doghouse, being the fans literally right on top of you every Friday night at home? What's that feeling like?
It's gives you chills. I mean, I got chills you talking about it right now. Especially when you're coming out for like halftime and the lights are kicked on and it's dark. And everybody's getting a little rowdy and you hear the band playing and it's a feeling you can't explain, and it's hard to create that feeling with any other sport.
I love it. Great atmosphere. It's fun to play with.
It's really surreal feeling to see all your fans and your whole town behind you as you're walking down that hill. And then after having a good or bad half, they're still sitting there in the stands erupting as you're going through the doghouse.
And I don't know if you guys heard us say, but we're big no-track guys around football fields.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love sitting right on the action, so definitely love your guys' field too. So
yeah. Edgerton's probably the closest football field to a basketball court I've ever seen, where the fans are right on top of you, right? But yeah, it's pretty awesome. Hey, got a quick question, guys. For your players, who on your team do you think will be a coach someday?
I watched Coach Flagel play, and now he's your guys' coach. Logan may have played against Coach Flagel.
You know, Maddox. I would like to coach junior high football someday. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Possibility.
I was going to say Bryce anyways.
Yeah, me too. Bryce has got energy that most guys don't.
That's cool.
And just to piggyback off that, he was just talking about the other day of I might help 5th and 6th grade next year. I said that would be great, Bryce. So
that's awesome.
I think that's a good response.
Yeah, Coach, I got a question for you. So your defense returns strength up front. You know, you lose some key players in the secondary. How are you working to rebuild that back end in your defense?
Yeah, I think it starts with our scrimmage today, a really good physical Delta team. And, you know, we took it on the chin at times, and some of these young guys filling roles that we might have lost some depth in. And we will take the film, we will learn from it. But, yeah, a lot of some key pieces that are missing from that defense from a year ago, but we are confident. You're never as bad as you think. You're never as good as you think. We're right in the middle. I think we just got to stay level-headed, keep putting in work, and learn from this experience.
Players, what were your biggest takeaways from the scrimmage today?
Just getting downhill, being physical, probably the biggest thing, and listening to what the coaches have to say.
I'd say be coachable. Don't give up on a play. Keep going through.
I just think that we can't be content where we're at because you can never be good enough. We just need to keep working because if we're wanting to be as good as we can be, then we need to keep working.
Coach, what's your outlook as a team and of the GMC this season?
The GMC is a well-known conference in area. You know, you got every year a surprise. You got a lot of returning talent with the Fairviews, the Tinoras. Paulding brings back a lot, but you also have Ayersville, who I thought at the end of the year with that run game really figured it out. Hicksville, I think Coach Davis has a lot of good things going over there, and Wayne Trace is always a tough game. So Antwerp, Coach Hale has had a ton of success over the years, and he'll get them back on track. So we are hoping week in and week out, we are focused, we are putting together a great game plan, and we are executing consistently. And as a whole, we're confident with where we're at, but we know there's a lot of work to be done. Like I said, we had some lumps in the scrimmage today, some growing pains, and we need to learn from it and get back on track.
Tony?
You know, Logan mentioned defense, Coach. You know, you graduated, for instance, Scotty Krantz, big playmaker for you. Who do you see on the offensive side that can kind of take the top off the defense?
Well, Carter Gibson sitting over here. He's going to be one of our guys that's going to be able to stretch people deep. Also, Parker Elton has speed. We put him on the outside. Kellen Sanchez, he missed a lot of the year last year due to an injury, and he's a speedster in the slot. So Caden Sinclair has been a consistent player for us. So I think we do have some depth there. Maybe not as far as the returning stat line depth, but we got guys that we feel can contribute this year.
All right. Well, I think that concludes it from us, guys. So we just want to wish you the best of luck this season. Thanks for coming out, and we'll be rooting you on along the way. So thanks again, guys.
Thank you. Thanks for the coverage, fellas.
Yep. Give it up for Edgerton. Up next, we have Columbus Grove and head coach Andy Schaefer. And thanks for coming on, guys. I'll let Coach introduce who he has with him here today.
Yeah, right here we got Landon Best, Trevin Baxter, and Gavin Barraza. So, yep.
Good deal. Well, we appreciate you guys coming up here today. Coach, what's the offseason been like for your team?
It's been good. Obviously at Grove, we don't give much of a choice on showing up. So, don't have to, though. The kids just show up, they work hard. And, I think the thing that's been really cool with this group is just the way the seen them bond already. Usually we've got to do stuff to get them to like each other a little bit. But this group actually seems pretty close. It's really cool.
Players, what's the offseason been like for you guys?
It's been good. Everyone's just showing up and working hard, and it's fun to see.
Yeah, I agree. I've said the same thing every time someone's asked me that question. It seems like everyone wants to buy in together. It's not really about one person. It's all about the team.
I kind of piggyback right off them, what they said, and just, everybody shows up, does their job, and it's after it.
Now, Coach, I'll start with you. It's been brought up earlier by actually other teams too, but you guys have made it to the state semifinals 4 times in the last 5 years. What's been the key to maintaining that level of consistency in Columbus Grove?
We keep the consistency on everything we do, our core values on the field, off the field. The whole community buys in. It holds these guys accountable. Talking football, it doesn't matter if you're at a girls' basketball game, somebody's going to ask you a question about football. I mean, it's just a way of life over there, and these kids obviously buy in. They understand the importance. They understand what it feels like if you have one of those letdowns, and it hurts. And so because of that, I think that's why we've been able to keep that standard. We got great kids, great leaders, and it's just that next man up mentality.
Keith?
Yeah, Coach, you just said you took some big hits. A couple of those guys are playing down the road here in Defiance this year. What was your message to the 2025 team as you started your camp?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty much it. We had a big sign in our locker room that we talk about guys that have graduated that were all state, and we've had a ton at Grove, but it's just like, who cares? They're gone, and congratulations for them. But this is the standard. We expect you to be here. We expect you to win, and and I guess the biggest challenge probably was me screaming at the offensive line early and making sure they understood it. But, I think we made some strides in these last couple of weeks, so it's been neat to see.
Tony?
Well, my question is for Landon. After being hurt all year last year, I mean, what are your expectations this year? Getting antsy to get back out there?
Yeah, it's going to be fun playing with the guys again. It was a long season last year, but it was okay to watch the guys go all the way to state semis with a third-string quarterback. But it's cool to be back with the guys and just having fun.
So I'm going to take it. Can I say something on this? Just because I thought what was really cool was the way Landon stepped in this year, and his knowledge of the game I noticed changed because he had a vision from the sideline that he's never seen. And this kid stayed involved in everything this whole off season, the whole season last year. He was in the meeting rooms. He was listening to coaches, and his knowledge, he's almost like a coach, and it's really cool to see him play. So I just wanted to add that.
Yeah.
I'll go into the next point here. Just talking defensively for a second. Your secondary was outstanding last season, 23 interceptions. You have multiple ball hawks returning. What's the identity of this year's defense for you guys? Players?
I think nothing changes. We're going to hit hard and fly to the football.
Seek and destroy.
I'd have to say what they pretty much said. Just keep it going and keep it rolling.
Hey, I got to follow up. Who's the hardest hitter on the team?
Trevin.
And a few words.
He doesn't want to say, but it's him right here. He's
All right.
shy.
Good deal. Keith?
Yeah, you guys had 23 receptions together as a secondary. What's your identity going to be this year as a group?
Just nothing changes again. We got fast dudes that are going to fly to the football and make big plays when we need them.
Yeah, I agree. We got people like great guys like Gavin, Landon, Alex Meyer. I mean, Grant Eversall, great safety. I mean, hard hitter. I mean, and Alex came in. He's already doing great things. I feel like everyone like Gavin, Landon, they're all doing great things already.
I would have to agree. We lost some linebackers last year too, but we got some pretty good replacements, I would say. And they're really stepping up and helping us with kind of like the middle deep balls and just kind of got our back on that.
Coach, you lost your entire defensive front to graduation. What's that looking like here as you're getting started in this season?
Oh, we did? Really? No, it's these guys, you know what these guys did last year is practiced against some pretty good guys. And so, that's the thing. When we played, like these three right here have already played 45 football games, and that's insane. They haven't even started their senior year. And so, we've got guys that have been practicing a long time. And, if you really want to be good and consistent, one of those questions is you win deep in the playoffs and you have your kids playing football a lot longer. And so, yeah, I'm not worried about our front seven at all. They're going to get the job done.
Now, question next here for the players. You guys have one of the most complete and one of the best coaching staffs in Northwest Ohio. What's the best piece of advice you've gotten from a coach?
I think just you're going to have one bad play, but that doesn't really – you can't let that make it into 2 plays, 3 plays. So just one bad play, and then you have to have a good play next.
I think the best advice I've ever had is that, no matter what it comes down to, I think discipline is what keeps you, intact and everything. No matter, you can have a bad day, bad day at school, but I feel like discipline just comes down to everything.
I would have to probably say staying focused throughout the season and just kind of focusing on the team that we're on right now and not looking ahead. And 2 weeks from now, when we play Pandora coming up here, we're not looking ahead to Bluffton and Patrick Henry already. We're focusing on Pandora and beating them.
Well, I got you guys talking. I think I already know the answer to this, but what's one game you're looking forward to this season?
Patrick Henry and Bluffton for me.
I would agree.
Probably say Liberty Benton and Bluffton.
Keith?
You guys talked about your coaching staff a little bit earlier. What's it like playing for Coach Schaefer? He seems like one of those players coaches. He's a jokester, but if you guys do something wrong, what's it like playing for Coach Schaefer? He seems like a great individual.
I love it. He knows how to motivate us and get us going for practice and games, and he's a really good coach.
It depends. You got to see what mood he's in first at start of practice before you talk to him. Sometimes don't want to go up and talk to him. Rough day.
As long as I'd say pretty much as long as he had his coffee, he'll be fine. But yeah, big coffee drinker.
Tony?
Hey, can you guys tell me what's just one thing that the best advice you've ever gotten from a coach?
I got that one.
Huh?
I asked that one earlier.
Oh, you already asked it? I missed it. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I'm sorry. Go ahead then.
Since we're already on the topic, and we also Liberty Center guys, the same thing. What's it like playing at Columbus Grove every Friday night home game? Coach touched on it. Basically, the whole town shows up for home games. What's it like strapping it up in the locker room and heading out? Especially last year, you got those nice lights out there. What was it like playing last year?
You guys got it looking like a dance club out there too.
Yeah, it's great because you got the town of Columbus Grove behind your back, and that helps with how we play and just how we move around and everything.
Yeah, I would agree. Like, to this day, even in the off season, I would go up to people showing them, hey, this is what Columbus Grove crowd looks like. This is what happens over there. I mean, if you look at any crowd around it, I feel like Grove's crowd is definitely the best around. Like, we have a huge home stance and it still fills up, and then the fence rows, everyone's there. So, yeah, it's a great day.
I'd have to agree. We're like pretty much one big family. Everybody shows up for each other, and you want to be able to use the lights, obviously. So you do your job and be there.
I think we got time for one last question. Say the 2025 season's over. You know, you're looking back on the season. What do you consider the season? You know, what's a successful season for you guys? Is it championship or bust?
Yeah, I think so. You know, the standard is getting to state semis and then getting over the hump to the finals.
I have to agree. You're going to have to end it off with a win.
Yeah, anything short of a state appearance is, I would say, a loss for us.
I think we're good to go. So just want to thank you guys for coming out today, and we appreciate you guys, stopping out. But we'll be rooting you on along the way, and good luck this season. So thanks again for coming out, guys, and give it up for Columbus Grove.
Batt Stevens Body Shop is your #1 voted auto body shop in Northwest Ohio. We are your experts on all makes and models and are the only Chrysler, Ford, and GM certified collision repair center in the area. Located in Jewel, Ohio. Give us a call today at 419-497-3111 to schedule your free estimate. Come check out the Batt Stevens Body Shop difference.
Craving tacos and Mexican food for your next event? Brother Tacos Catering in Defiance is here to serve up fresh, delicious flavors everyone will love. Perfect for parties, work events, or family get-togethers. Call 567-344-0055 to book your catering today and check them out on Facebook. Brother Tacos Catering. Tasty Mexican food made easy. DSN Sports is your go-to business for purchasing uniforms, equipment, spiritwear, and anything else your athletic program needs, giving you more time to impact lives on the field. With over 1,200 sales professionals who live, work, and serve in your community, you're always just a short drive or phone call away. Be sure to give your local sales rep and Jim Garris a call for any of your athletic supply needs. For 26 years, Burkholder Taxidermy has been Northwest Ohio's trusted full-service taxidermist. From game heads to lifelike mounts, we provide exceptional quality and craftsmanship. Preserve your memories with Burkholder Taxidermy, where experience meets excellence. Located at 19331 Buckskin Road, Defiance, Ohio. Give them a call at 419-782-9538. DeLarber Concrete and Hauling is your go-to provider for concrete and hauling needs. Flat work, pole barn floors, driveways, and patios. Hauling services for stone, mulch, and dirt. Call Josh for your free estimate at 419-576-0401. Escape to Harvest Moon Golf Course, 110 beautiful acres at Meekus and Domersville Roads in Defiance County. Less than 15 minutes from downtown Defiance, we offer 18 scenic holes with water features, sharp dog legs, challenging greens, and open fairways surrounded by peaceful woods. After your round, unwind at Harvest Moon Winery and enjoy our finest wines while soaking in the view. Planning a celebration? Our hall is available for your next special event. Call 419-497-4675 or visit us today. Harvest Moon, where golf meets great wine. Looking for a top quality used RV? Coon Truck and RV in Sherwood. Family owned since 1976. Specializes in Class B and B Plus motorhomes. Handpicked for quality and low rust. Ron personally sources most of our inventory from the South, so you get well cared for rigs ready to roll. Want to talk now? Call our office anytime at 419-899-2020. Ask for Luke or Levi, and we'll get you taken care of. You can also browse truckandrv.com or stop by 240 Ohio Route 18 in Sherwood. Coon Truck and RV, honest family service and rigs ready to roll. Call 419-899-2020. Marco's Pizza is honored to sponsor NWO Sports, serving your pizza of choice in Northwest Ohio. Defiance, Archbold, Wauseon, Delta, Bryan, Napoleon, Paulding, and Montpelier. Order online at marcos.com today. Since 1989, Rupp Rosebrock has been leaders in quality construction and pre-engineered structures, serving Northwest Ohio's healthcare, schools, businesses, and communities. Our team partners with you every step, delivering results on time and on budget, because every project counts. Call 419-533-7999 or visit rupprosebrock.com out of Liberty Center, Ohio.
All right, we'll get things rolling here again. Up next, we have Napoleon and head coach Tyler Swery. Coach, I'll let you introduce what players you have with you here today.
I got 3 of our 5 captains. We got Tristan Mers, Isaac Meyer, and Hayden Gherkin.
All right, let's get into things here. What's the offseason been like for the Wildcats?
I thought we had a really good offseason. The numbers in the winter and spring were really good, and then our summer numbers, I thought, in terms of the weight we were pushing, I thought was much better than the previous year. So the guys put the work in, and it definitely showed.
Kind of want to go into the next point here. Last season, was kind of a roller coaster. A tough regular season, but an incredible postseason run for you guys. Ended in the regional finals. How do you think that playoff stretch helped shape the mentality coming into this year?
Well, yeah, I think just having that extra, it's kind of cliche, everybody says it, but having the extra couple games and couple weeks of practice is big for especially these guys coming back. Mersey, you didn't really start until week 10, right? So he didn't start till week 10, and then he got 4 weeks of experience. So I think that's big for us, and the mentality of that's where we want to be again this year, and what we're working for, and it just kind of gives you that in the back of your head. We know what we have to do to get there.
Players, what's the offseason been like for you guys?
I feel like the offseason for us it was hard. We're working hard every day. We're trying to execute plays and get ready for D5, of course. That's going to be a big one. But also, we're also looking at the other games as well. We got 9 other games we got to worry about. Just working hard. We're in the weight room all the time, pushing heavy weight, like Coach Swery said, and getting the plays down.
Yeah. Off season the work in the off season dated all the way back to last December. We got it started up right away, right after our playoff run, and it was a really fun time just to meet all the incoming freshmen, everyone else getting bigger, and it built a pretty good culture in that weight room, and it was kind of a fun place to be. Which it's a good thing that it's a fun place to be while you're also getting better for the next year.
Throughout the whole off season, we've really been pushing each other. We try to push each other as much as we can, really, and we start lifting together and see who can really. We have competitions who can bench more and lift more in general.
Since you guys just were on the same subject here, what do you guys do as a group to stay close together? What do you do after practice? And do you have any activities you do?
Yeah, so during the off season, obviously we respect our other sports. All these guys are multi-sport athletes, and what we try to do when we get into the winter and spring is we try to get them together at least twice a month. So we'll do a team lift, kind of a team workout together, and guys that are wrestlers or basketball players during the winter, they come and basically stretch with us. But just to get them together for a little bit, because football's a different sport. You got to build that camaraderie. It's not a single kind of mindset. So just getting them together like that, and then I think we put them in. They draft some summer teams, so they do a lot of stuff as their summer teams, and they're competing against each other while also keeping each other accountable. And I think that kind of builds some of that as well.
Well, Coach, you get George Eggers is back this year. That's obviously going to be big for you. What are some of the other pieces that are going to fill in around him?
Yeah, so George obviously is a tremendous running back. Hayden Grohl looked really good today, I thought, in our scrimmage. I think our offensive line has some pieces, and they're getting better. But overall, obviously when you lose the 3-year starter in Owen and Trey, you got to have guys step up, and we're kind of starting to see that. We're still waiting on some, but we're starting to see the guys step up where we need them.
Now, Coach, you talk about guys stepping up. Players, who's the vocal leader of the team, in the locker room or on the practice field?
Honestly, I would have to say it's, us captains. We were elected for a reason, and I think it's for that reason. We're supposed to guide the team, be a good role model, speak when we need to be, if there's an issue on the team. And even on the football field during games, if there's something that we notice and we want to correct it, I think we have that ability to correct it and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I'd say the guy that stands out to me is Christian Horner, who's competing for the quarterback spot this year, and it's been really nice to see him step up. As one of my close friends, he's been pretty vocal throughout our practices. Getting people hyped up, getting people going, especially this morning, getting everyone in that mode to kind of hit someone that's not from Napoleon, and it's been really cool to see a close friend of mine step up like that and become more of a vocal leader, even though him being a junior.
I agree with Mers. Us as captains really step up and like to be vocal, but another name is Troy Barton, who is a really big key to our playoff run last year as a D lineman and offensive lineman. He really likes to bring the energy at practice, and he likes to get everyone amped up for practice.
Hey guys, Napoleon's one of the few area schools, at least around our area, that just has one non-conference game. What's it like every Friday night playing in the NLL, knowing every single Friday got to bring your A-plus game?
Can you restate that one more time for me?
You guys play in the NLL 9 league games. What's that like every Friday night, knowing you have to bring your A-plus game?
It's definitely a challenge. But I feel like we practice hard enough, long enough for sure, and I think that sets the stage for those games, and I think it prepares us for what we have to do on the field Friday night.
Yeah, I think it's a test of character too. Further than just football, the kind of person you are, how far are you going to go to prevail through a tough week? You might get bumped and bruised up, and just how hard are you going to fight through that to the next week is going to show how strong your character is. So it's a good test of that.
Playing teams that we need to bring our A-plus, just everything. It really helps us going into playoffs, as we have pushed ourselves all through the season trying to win games in the NLL, and then once we get to playoffs, it really helps us have just be good enough to play against those teams.
I'll add to that. Yeah, when you're in a tough conference like that, you understand that you gotta be ready every game. There's no off games, but at the end of the day, it's going to help you in the long run. And just like last year, it was a gauntlet for us there through the middle of the season, and we got through it, and we ended up getting healthy, and it eventually helped us in the long run. So it's that mindset of knowing it's going to be a grind, but you just got to push through it, and it's gonna benefit you in the end.
Well, Coach, through your scrimmages so far, I know you got another one next week yet. What's a plus that you've seen so far through your scrimmages that is looking positive for you? Maybe what's a negative that you still need to work on?
So George didn't play today. He's kind of tweaked his hamstring. He'll be fine by Defiance. But I thought not having him in there on offense and defense, and I thought it went pretty smooth. So like I said, Hayden Grohl was in there for him. And looked really well, and I thought our offensive line looked good. So last year, we really, as much as George played a key part, we really didn't run the ball very well. We had weapons to throw the ball, and it allowed us to run. This point, we have to start with the run to open up the pass game. So I was pleased with how we blocked up front and the intensity, and obviously there's some things we got to clean up, but that's probably been the biggest thing is, kind of an exhale of, okay, I think we're all right. We got the pieces. We just got to tune it up a little bit.
Question for the players here. Your defense still returns some tough guys that are experienced. What's the mentality on that side of the ball this year?
I think the mentality is something Coach Swery always says. It's seek and destroy. We were out there. He always says someone's hair's on fire. Just go and fly around, look for someone who has got the ball and just tackle them. So I think that's kind of the mentality there for us.
I like that motto. We just had Columbus Grove on, and they said seek and destroy was their motto too on defense. So I love it.
Yeah. Also with that, running with your hair on fire too, being aggressive, but also knowing your assignments, remembering your practice, and just knowing where you have to be and what your job is, and kind of understanding other people's spots, understanding why we're running this sort of defense helps you understand why you need to do this certain job. And it helps you just want to work for the team and toward the team's goals.
like Mers said, we want to fly around and hit people, and we all we need to be able to do our jobs and make sure we're all on the same page at all times, so that there's no big plays that happen because of it.
All right. Well, I think that wraps it up for us, guys. So really appreciate you guys coming out here today, and we wish you the best of luck for the season, and we'll definitely be rooting you on. So thanks for coming.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us, guys.
Give it up for Napoleon. Up next, we have Defiance and head coach Steve Rittenauer. So thanks for coming on the show today, Coach.
Thank you for having me.
All right, let's get things rolling. What's the offseason been like for the Defiance Bulldogs?
It's been new. We have been going hard since January. We sort of instituted a new lifting, and we've had about the same number of guys. I think we're at 58, and we've had some guys come and go, but since about January, 4 days a week, we've had about 58 guys. I brought back some classics from the past this summer. We went back, had some STPs that haven't been around in a while, but overall, I'm very pleased with their attitude and their effort. Like I said, we scrimmaged LC this morning, so we probably got some guys with that are pretty sore right now. But I thought overall, like I said, I was real happy with the attendance throughout. Usually you have to fight with that in the years past. But I thought overall that their attitude and their effort, we made a lot of gains in the weight room. So I'm pleased with the offseason.
Now, I want to go to the next question here. Now, you're a Defiance grad, and you've been involved with the program for quite a while. What does it mean to you personally to lead this program as a head coach?
We recently had on our alumni golf outing, and there's a lot of guys out there. And I'll be honest, the first word that came to my mind was grateful, because when I look back, you never start out coaching thinking you want to be the head coach. I started out as a defensive line coach for Coach Beauty, and I just wanted to be better so he would stop yelling at me during practice. You start out and then you start picking things up. But when I got the job, I had to be quiet for a week. And some of the guys out in the audience knows that that's pretty hard for me to be quiet. I didn't even tell my wife for a couple days because, most of us married guys know if you want to keep a secret, you probably don't tell your better half. But when it was official, I was in the back room and really, just grateful for the opportunity to represent all the guys. I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty positive I might be the first alumni to coach. And, we're celebrating 125 years. And, we've had football longer than some countries have existed. So it's an honor. But, overall, I'm very grateful for the opportunity to represent the past and the present.
Keith?
Yes, I was kind of surprised that Coach Cooper resigned. Walk us through the process once you found out. Like, what was your feeling when you found out you're going to be the next coach of Defiance?
There's always that. It's a awesome feeling, but then at the same time, I've been around coaching for about 25 years, so I know, I know what the other part of the coaching situation is. So that tends to hit you a little bit, like, what did I get myself into? But I felt the time was right. I told my wife when Coop resigned, we sort of talked before it was official. But we went out, my wife and I take walks all the time, and we went out on a walk, and I told her, hey, I can only do this, if you're behind me. And we're lucky right now. She's actually probably going to enjoy this. We have both my daughters go to Ohio State, so she's going to see me less than she's ever. So it's probably going to be the best couple years of our marriage with me not being there. But, you can't do this without a supportive wife and spouse. And, I'm not getting any younger. And Jared and I had a few discussions. And, like I said, it's exciting. It's anxious. Sometimes it can be overwhelming just because of all the outside noise that you have to deal with. But overall, once you get going, you're still a ball coach at heart. So
Things have
it's
probably
time.
changed a lot since when you were a player through Coach Beauty and now the way
I'm looking out at some of these guys right here, and I can say now, like our two-a-days, we start at 6:30 in the morning. We had lunch at 11:30. We went 12:30 to 3, and then we went 6 to 9. And there were times that was full pads. the whole time. If we did that today, we'd all be in jail down in Lima together. We'd have a hell of a prison football team. But I mean, you just can't. And we didn't even know that wasn't an option. Like we just thought we had to do that. So I remember we used to practice on Saturdays. We beat Van Wert we gave up 2 touchdowns because of penalties. So we might have accidentally hit the sleds Saturday morning after a victory. You do that today, like I said, you'll be reading my name in the papers. So it's different, but at the same time, it's still the game's different. We're watching football this afternoon. Some guy gets a penalty because he sacked the quarterback and he didn't brace himself. Well, I was taught that's what you're supposed to do. So the game has changed, and I think as coaches, you can either coach, or you got to adapt and change with the game, and that's just what we have to do.
Tony.
All right, Coach. Kind of get down to the nitty gritty here. You had a quote that you guys need to run the football and mature pretty quickly at quarterback. How's that coming along through your scrimmages so far? We matured a little. We matured quite a bit today. LC, you guys, they have some good football players over there. I don't know what they have in their water, but those guys got off the bus and they're bigger than some of my coaches. I was talking to Casey. I thought that we matched them physically today. We've got some guys that we have to work on. Obviously, our quarterbacks. You're going to mature pretty fast when you've got some LC dogs chasing you down. And I thought they managed the offense. Obviously we didn't show everything that we're going to do, and we have most of it in. But we've got a lot of guys. I'm lucky that we've got about 58 guys out, but we've got a lot of guys who haven't played football in a year or two. So that's a tough first scrimmage. I looked at one of our outside linebackers, and his first job in football was to stop Liberty Center's buck sweep coming at him. So that's a pretty big challenge right there. And like I said, I thought we matured as the scrimmage went on. We've got a lot to work on, though, but I was pleased with our development of our quarterback.
Looking at the defensive side of the ball, you returned standout linebacker Kelton Gibbs, defensive back Jordan Wright. How do you see the leadership of those guys carrying the unit on the defensive side?
Kelton's going to have to learn to play tired. I told him that today. I'm like, you're one of our best players. You're probably not going to come off the field. So you're going to, I told him, once 2-days start, that's the last day your body's going to feel good till about next January. So, and I thought, there was a time during the scrimmage today where I thought that our energy level sort of dropped. And before I said anything, Jordy and Kelton, we have some other guys, Matthew Walters, one of our captains. I thought they started to, that's always good. You want to see the kids lead. Kelton still, every now and then we're training, every now and then he gets caught looking in the backfield, and unfortunately against a wing T team, that's not. But everything's fixable. I told today everything that we did wrong today can be fixed. We just have to focus on fixing it. Their energy levels were good, and the physicality was good, and you can't coach that.
Right.
Yeah, you briefly touched on it, Coach. Who are some of the leaders you're looking upon this year, offensively and defensively?
Well, obviously we're going to have to lean on Tyler Doden-Kiesling. He's one of our returning starters on offensive line. We got Matthew Walters at our tight end. Jordy's probably going to be one of our playmakers. Kelton is going to be both ways. We've got a young junior named Chase Comiso, who we're going to lean on. And then, like I said, we've got some guys like Jackson Becker. And we've got some guys today, Jack Heinze, Goose Hinojosa. Those guys, like I said, I thought today overall, I thought our energy level was good. I thought our physicality was good. But we've got to mature. You're going to make your best jumps, hopefully, between this scrimmage and next Thursday when we take on Otsego. So, for us, we have to get those guys that missed those couple years. They've got to get up to speed. They got to get up to football speed. And the sooner they do that, the better we'll be.
Okay. Tony?
I'm good.
River Rock, Coach. What's that mean?
I think I think most of you guys know what that means here. This could be my first year coaching. I've been part of, I don't even know how many, a lot. It's the game. I mean, not too many people get to start out with their rival, and you can throw records out the window. It doesn't matter. That game is, like I said, we went through last year, and we've been focusing on last year, there's a couple of times I thought we let the game get away with some some mistakes and some, dumb penalties. And, that game it's emotion. We don't like those people very much. They don't like us. I teased Black Swamp, I went down there and they said, I brought like 6, 7 guys. And I was like, well, if you're from Defiance and you're going to Henry County, you better roll deep. Because it's not good for us over there, and not good for them over here. But we're looking forward to it, and we can't wait to play that team down the river.
I think I got one final question for you. What would you want at the end of the year, what would you say you would want the identity of this year's Defiance team to be known for?
I have a sign that I have in the locker room, and it's basically, to me, sums up what football is. We're going to be physical, we're going to be aggressive, and we're going to be relentless.
Very well said. All right. Other than that, I think that's all I got. So we wish you guys best of luck this season. We'll be following you, and we're excited to see what you guys do this year.
Well, thank you for having me. Thank you for having us. I appreciate being here.
All right. Give it up for Defiance. Next, we have the Fairview Apaches, and we have assistant coach Joe Keim. Coach, I'll let you introduce what players you have with you here today, and we'll get things rolling.
All right. We brought 4 of our seniors today. We got Adam Spangler, John Huffman, Drayden Grinnell, Dennis, and Landrick Vandermeid.
All right, good deal. Coach, what's the offseason been like for the Apaches?
A lot of hard work, just focused on getting stronger, getting better every day. And I think, kids have done that. They've really bought into our all-season program this year, and I think this is probably one of the stronger teams we've had in a while now.
Players, what's the offseason been like for you guys?
I mean, we've been going at it in the weight room since last season ended, more or less. We've been lifting every morning or every afternoon, depending on when guys wanted to come in. We would do stuff in the morning for our O-line, and receivers would come in shortly thereafter this last season ended and get our work in, do everything we could to prepare for this season.
Yeah, definitely. We had our strongest weight room that we've had in a while. I feel like us seniors, we did a good job of getting the young guys in there because, we want to have a strong team. And then 1-2 times a week, we would do speed training in the morning before we would do lifting. So that was also really good for us. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of piggybacking off of what they said. Literally, it's just been a lot of the weight room stuff, getting big lifts in, and just getting stronger overall. And like they were saying, this is one of the strongest teams. Coach Rakes has said this is the strongest team he's ever coached. But yeah, and we do occasional speed training here and there throughout the week in the mornings, and yeah, just doing basically everything we can to get better at the sport.
Going to the next question here. Last year was a huge turnaround. You guys go from 2-8 to 9-3. What do you guys attribute that shift in success to?
It just comes with the culture, you know what I mean? Like getting everybody on board, making sure everybody buys into the program, everybody wants to win, and coming off of our freshman season, going 0-10, and then the year after that 2-8. Like we just basically needed to buy into the program, work as hard as we could in the off season, come into the season ready to work, and props to Coach Riggs, props to our assistant coaches. Couldn't ask for a better coaching staff to get us to where we need to be.
Yeah, carry on with that. Got to give props to Coach Rakes because going 0-10, 2-8, and last season 9-3, he definitely helped out a lot because he was a really good coach in his past. And every year, us seniors at least, we've gotten better every single year, and we don't want to go downhill from there. So, like I said, get in the weight room, speed training, and all that. We just want to get better. We don't have a losing mentality at Fairview.
Yeah, kind of looking at it, the team kind of almost looks at it as like a lifestyle. The way we kind of play football around here, it's just we kind of just stay committed. It's a big commitment thing when we just keep working hard, and pretty much everything we do kind of almost has a purpose, and that purpose is to win football games.
So tall guy.
Coach, what would you say?
I kind of agree with what they're saying. It's a culture thing. Doug's done a great job of building that. He had a lot of success his first go around, and had a few down years there, and he come back and just rebuilt that culture, and the kids are buying into it, and that's the big thing is just keep them consistency and keeping them coming out, and we've been able to but bring a few more kids that haven't played in the past, and that's a big thing, keeping kids out and playing.
Keith?
Yeah, you guys had a tough 1-point loss just down the road here, so you missed out on the GMC title. Is that fueling your off-season workouts and your early practices this year, gearing for that title this year?
You know, anytime you lose to a rival in your conference, that's got to fuel. That doesn't put a sick feeling in your stomach, then you probably shouldn't be playing. But I think, yeah, that's definitely a big fuel for us. Just trying to go through that GMC undefeated, no matter who we're playing. You always want to win your conference first, and then worry about the rest later.
Yeah, that's going to be first thing in our minds when we're going up to play Tinora this year is coming back from last year and that season, how we lost.
You know, coming off of, I didn't even play last year. I was out with a season-ending, like not injury, but it was a surgery. I had surgery. But just even not even playing, I still think about that every single day. You know, practicing every single day, thinking like, why are we working so hard? And I just think of that, and it's like, you know, we can't let that happen again. Simply.
Yeah, I think of that every single day. You know, every time I come in to work, that's all I think about. What can I do to get better to do that? Like before 2-a-days, I'd come in the morning, lift, do all that, go to practice. After practice, do it again. You know, I really don't want to lose it again because we were up by so much, and then halftime we kind of let it get to us, and then they took advantage of that, and I don't want to let that happen again this year.
And on top of like how much we already care enough about it, like coming into practice each and every day, working our tails off to get to where we want to be. Like we've got our coaches reminding us every 10 tinminutes not that we can't lose to Tinora this year. You know what I mean? Like it's already bad enough to lose to your rival, but to lose by 1 point, lose our GMC title, all of that combined just makes it just that much more important to us.
Coach, you know, obviously you've got one of the best quarterbacks in the area with William Zedike, and you know you guys got a fantastic receiving core, but you guys did lose a bunch of people up front. How is that coming together, and how's that starting to look already this year?
Yeah, that's definitely a point of emphasis for us is to find those 5 guys that are going to gel. We got a handful of guys that right now that are working hard, and I think they're improving every day. It's just getting that consistency down. You know, it's not a terribly, from an O-line standpoint, it's not a difficult offense to figure out and work at, but there is a lot of work involved, you know, as far as pass proing, and that's our bread and butter. So I think they're coming along well. Again, we got 2 weeks before Wasion, and so we're going to definitely take advantage and work hard these next 2 weeks.
Question for you guys here next. What are your expectations for this group in 2025, and how far do you guys think you guys can go?
The sky's the limit, honestly, for us. I feel like we're, at least for me, and I think pretty much for everybody else, like we know what we're capable of, and we want to go as far as setting school records, as going as far in the playoffs. The expectation is to win the GMC, try to go undefeated in the regular season. Like we were saying, like we come in every day with the idea that like losing's not an option. That's what it takes to achieve that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like he was saying, sky's the limit. Expectation is coming every single day. Give it all you got. You know what I mean? Win GMC title, go undefeated during the normal season, and playoff wise, I at least want to get to the 3rd round, and I think we got what it takes. And just like that last question about up front, we lost a lot of guys up there, but every day during practice, you know, we really tell them younger guys who are stepping up, like, you guys know what you got to do. It's not going to be easy, and it hasn't been easy for them, but I like the way that they're facing adversity, and I think we're going to end up a lot better this year.
Yeah, we have all the tools to do, you know, turn heads. We have, you know, great receiving core. We have O-line. We have an O-line that'll definitely put in the work. They put in all the work in the off season. You know, we definitely have the tools to make a good run.
Personally, I think our O-line's a lot bigger this year than we were even last year, and it's just a matter of like form and knowing the plays, and doing them right.
And when you guys are graduated, what would you like your teammates and the people of Fairview, the community, which seems to be a tight-knit group, what would you like them to remember about each one of you?
I want them to remember us as like the most hardworking group that they've ever seen. And for our younger guys that are on our team, biggest thing for me at least, and I think for the rest of us seniors and leaders in that aspect is to instill the level of hard work and determination that we've had to face going through our high school career. Like I said, going 0-10 freshman year, 2-8 our sophomore year, and then flipping it around last year and hopefully even doing better things this year. We want to instill that hard work and that determination into our younger guys and show them what it takes to get to where it is we need to be. And I want the culture to remember us as that.
Yeah, spoken well there. Just, best, just try to have the best senior group that Coach Rakes even himself has ever had. I want to show people that we're the hardest working people in the room at all times.
Yeah, I want to be that team of seniors where, teams in the future, 3 or 4 years in the future Coach Rakes will send them film of past games, and they're watching film of us because we're like the hard-working group.
I think as a team we should be known as like an incredibly physical team, and just nobody would want to like hit us.
Drayden, I got a question for you. You're in a zombie apocalypse, dude. You can pick one teammate to take with you. Who are you going to take and why?
Oh, that's a good question. I got to think of it. A zombie apocalypse. I got to take one teammate?
One teammate. Who would that be?
I got to go Luis here. Nah, cause hear me out. He's got a different type of like motivation, I think. Like he will figure out ways to, I don't even know. He'll just do something. Yeah, I feel like I see it. I see it.
Who would you guys all take?
If I'm gonna be honest, I'm probably gonna take my guy Adam because I forgot what the YouTube channel is called, but it's this one guy. He would post videos of him doing a whole bunch of survival stuff, and I know he's watched him a lot. He's got a lot of knowledge. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, the Outdoor Boys. I just feel like he'd know what to do in certain situations, like no glaze or anything. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go with him, to be honest.
I'm taking Landrick. Landrick, if anybody's gonna fight off some zombies, I think it'd be Landrick. Landrick knows how to shoot a gun. Landrick knows how to fix cars, do stuff like that. If I'm taking anybody, it's got to be Landrick.
I'm also going with Landrick here.
All right, good deal. I think that wraps things up from us. So thank you guys for coming on. We wish Fairview best of luck this season, and we'll be following you guys closely. So thank you guys. A segment powered by Kuhn Truck and RV. So we thank them for being big supporters of Fairview. So thanks, guys, and give it up for Fairview.
Thank you.
Sign in the back, though. That will go towards a team with the most players, fans, coaches for a $200 donation towards the team. But other than that, we're getting things started with Ayersville and head coach Andrew Mickey, and I'll have Coach introduce what players he has with him here today.
We got Eli Berner, Owen Lloyd, and Caden Boer. These are 3 of our captains this year and 3 of our seniors this year.
All right. Coach, what's the offseason been like for the Pilots?
Oh, man, it's been a tremendous offseason. We obviously didn't have as much success last year as we wanted, so this offseason I asked the boys to work a lot harder than we ever have. I mean, frankly, a lot harder than we ever have. Our workouts are longer, more intense, more demanding. And to their credit, they've not only bought into that, but they've bought into it with an incredibly positive attitude, and it's been a blast. We've had a lot of fun together these last few weeks. I mean, especially the camp days, and even going back all the way to May, we really started getting into those new workouts, and they've bought in with a tremendous attitude, attacking at 100 miles an hour, and I couldn't be more proud of the offseason.
Now, last season, I read some of your comments that you had mentioned your team was very young, and you learned some lessons about the staff and playing to your strengths. How has that shaped your approach heading into 2025?
We know who we are. I want to clarify. I don't think it's staff. I think it was me. I was trying to ask our team to do things that I don't think were to their strengths, and that's on me. I've been coaching these young men long enough to understand what they do best. And as a coach, I've said it a bunch of times, when you've got kids with talent like we have, let's do what they do. Let's do what their strong suit is. And last year, I don't think we started out doing that, and it took us a while to find our way to that. But by mid-season, we really kind of made a full-scale push towards what I think our identity is. And we've started out there this year. I mean, we're full sail and double tight a lot of time, one split end. and that's who we are. That's who we want to be, and we're going to try to fight in a phone booth.
All right, Coach, I have to ask you. Big rivalry, river rivalry. Looking forward to that this year, and any point of emphasis on that during the workouts, during the preseason, or you just look at each game at a time. And you got a pretty tough non-conference schedule every year before you start the GMC, so you can't really look ahead.
No, I don't think you look ahead, but that rivalry is always there. Tinora is always that team that, you think about. That bell is very, very important to me on a personal level. It means a lot. It's definitely a game we want to win, and we do talk about it. I don't think it has emphasis over our other games. Like you said, we have a very tough non-league, and that's by design. I think that prepares you for the rigors of the GMC schedule. We have a very tough league. So playing the teams that we play in the non-league, I think, is going to prepare us very well for that. But yeah, the river rivalry and the bell, that's something we want to keep at Ayersville this year.
They actually played pretty well last year. It was a very close, intense game right to the end. So
we did that with a lot of teams last year, and it was just play here, play there, mistake here, mistake there. We struggled to close some games out, and hopefully this year with the experience we have coming back and the guys that are sitting next to me here, we should be a little bit more successful in those games.
This is for the players. You guys, obviously you went 1-9 last year, not the season you wanted to have. What's some of the things you guys have been doing in the offseason to try to build that chemistry and turn things around this year?
Well, I really feel like the connection that we have between all the players are a lot more closer than they were last year. And everybody is counting on each other to do their job and do what they're responsible for. And I feel like that will really help us this season because everybody knows what they have to do.
I feel that even in the weight room, when we're lifting, if someone's not doing their job, and people will let them know, and even on the field, that if you're not going to do what you want, then, just someone's going to go in and rotate for you, and they'll get the job done.
Yeah, I feel like real close this year, a lot more closer than last year. Good lifts in the weight room, and a lot of speed workouts.
Coach, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
You guys are very prideful in the offensive line over at Ayersville. With the offensive line, you guys returned, I believe, all 5 starters?
Yes, sir.
So with that, including first-team GMC selection, Caden Boer, how important is that group to the identity of your team for this year? And I've been saying, with a lot of people too, the team this year that really has a strong offensive line is going to have a lot of success. So just, touch about the offensive line over there at Ayersville.
Well, I think it comes down to the coaching they receive. Coach Fritz is our O-line coach. He demands a lot of those guys, and they work very, very hard. They're out there with bands around them. They're competing for pennies. They're doing get-off drills, pushing the sled, working very, very hard every single day to be better. Because they don't think last year was good enough, and they want more. And like you guys said, they know our non-league is very tough. Nobody's going to give us anything. If we want more than what we got last year, we're going to have to take it. And like you said, it starts up front. We got a lot of experience coming back. We've got a lot of talent up front. We're going to try to capitalize on that with our system and what we do, and that's running the football.
Caden, what's the mindset behind players' perspective of the offensive line play this year?
I feel like we know our role. We know what we got to do. We know last year wasn't good enough, so I feel like we want more. And, yeah. I feel like we just want more.
You guys want that chocolate milk.
Yeah, we want that chocolate milk.
Coach Fritzy does not let that down if you get that.
Hey, Coach, you lost a big part of your offense the last couple of years in Torin Knieven. What's your plans on replacing that big guy this year? We talked about it a little bit before you came on air here, but elaborate a little bit.
I've talked about this in years past, and we've had outstanding seniors, Abe Delano the year before and Torin last year. I don't think you replace those guys. I don't think you try to get into that, because then you get into a trap of trying to ask guys to do maybe what's not to their strength. I don't want any of these guys to be Torin Knieven. I want him to be Eli Berner. I want him to be Owen Lloyd. I want him to be Caden Boer. So I think, this year just try to make sure these guys are fitting into their roles, and to replace the production that Torin brought us, hopefully we're a little bit more balanced. I mean, We gave the ball to TK a couple times last year. What was it, 30 times in a game? Did we get a couple 30 carry games for TK? Ideally, with our offense and the deception that we'd like to create, you don't find yourself in that position. But hopefully these guys are being the best version of them. I don't want to replace TK because it's pretty special.
Tony?
Hey, guys, what would it mean if to you guys personally, if you turned this season around and made the playoffs, for instance?
Well, if we made playoffs, well, that's the ultimate goal, is to make playoffs and to go deep. But we just really focus on the game, like the next game in front of us. We're always looking for, like, we're always hungry. We always want to win, like, the game that's right there.
I think it would be a very good accomplishment from going, 1-9, not doing what we want to do, but sticking to what we do and getting there, it would be great.
Took all your points, Brewer.
All right, I got a question to lighten the mood a little bit. Off the field, who's the funniest guy in the locker room?
I think I'm definitely going to have to go Mixer Bryan.
I was also going to say Mixer Bryan because, he just has a different personality. Oh, his name is Braylon Young. We call him Mixer because that's his Xbox name.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm going to go Braylon Young, too.
He just brings the energy,
If he's got I won't share the dance. It's a special thing that even the coach has been privy to. It's pretty impressive.
I think we got time for one last question.
Any game you guys are looking forward to this year on the schedule?
I'm definitely looking forward to getting that bell back. Definitely.
I'm as well looking forward to Tinora, and after every practice, we get a break and we say ding ding on 3, and I think everyone wants to buy into that and get the bell back.
Yeah, I feel like Tinora too. Rough losing them last year, but I feel like we can do it this year.
All right, I think that wraps it up for us, guys. So we appreciate you guys coming on, and we wish you the best of luck this season, and we'll be following you closely. So thank you, guys. Give it up for Ayersville. Let's get things rolling. Up next, we have Paulding and head coach Jim Menzie. So thanks for coming on the show, Coach, and I'll have you introduce who you have with you here tonight.
I'll let the boys introduce.
Miguel Martinez.
Isaac Couts.
Damian Iliff.
All right. Guys, what's the offseason been like for the Paulding Panthers?
Well, there's been plenty of hard work in the weight room and lots of conditioning, getting ready for the season, and plenty more work to come.
Yeah, there's been lots of lifting and lots of running and just getting better.
Whole lot of running, but we get into the weight room as well. It's good.
Sounds like you guys like running. Coach?
It's been a good transition. The boys, the culture's changed. So we're definitely putting a lot more effort in there. Numbers been really good through the winter, so it's been really helpful.
One of the points I want to bring up is you've now stacked up 2 straight winning seasons for the first time since the late 80s. What's the key been to building that consistency for you guys?
Just making these kids believe in the program. The culture is coming around. The kids reaching down to the youth has probably been our biggest asset.
Keith?
Yeah, you've had, like Logan said, you've had 2 successful seasons back to back for the first time in 40 years probably. What are you building upon this offseason into this season to progress into a successful 3rd year in a row?
I mean, make the boys set goals, and it's been obtainable. But I also kind of rub in a little bit where they left off last year. I mean, when you take a couple losses within 5 points, it kind of puts you in a different mindset.
Players, what have you guys been doing to build on the success you've had the last 2 seasons?
So I've been a starter for the last 4 years, and I feel like every year I just go based off the previous year. So I always want to build myself better every year than I was before, and just bonding with the newer guys that come just to keep the tradition going every year.
Every year that I've played from like freshman year to now, the bond with everybody it just keeps getting closer, and everyone just wants it more and just keeps trying harder.
Throughout all 4 years, we're a family. We all got to come together. We all work as one. If one person falls down, everybody's got to come together to pick them up. That's how we work.
Tony?
Hey, Coach, you lost 4 offensive linemen at graduation last year. How's that looking as far as replacing those spots?
It's been, the key factors there were some key factors last year. One thing's good is young men sit beside me. We had a lot of filling. I believe in rotating, bringing them up through, kind of give them some game experience. We did play some JV games last year, kind of got some experience there also, but kind of helped do a little bit of clinics throughout the winter, been kind of helping out that part.
Coach, I just want to touch on your offense. This season you bring back your starting quarterback, some top receivers. You look on paper, really, you have one of the deeper receiving cores in the area. Just kind of touch about how confident are you going into the 2025 season with your offense?
Very confident. Each year, I think a coach has definitely got to look at your players and change your offense accordingly. Definitely with the depth there. It's going to be hard to feed all the mouths that need to eat out there this time. So, rotating about 6 receivers this year, so it's been there, and our running back core is about the same.
It's a nice problem to have.
It is.
Last year, Coach, defensively, you were unstoppable, really, lights out. Lost Jack Woods and a couple others, but what momentum from last year can you carry into this year defensively?
A lot of experience. Our DBs are definitely, we got some junior starters and some seniors that helped out. So our secondary and the linebacker core is definitely, one of our biggest assets. And then the D-line is rotational, bringing on some new DNs that's going to help out. But, bringing the intensity is going to be help.
Hey, guys, how's the energy been during your scrimmages and throughout practices so far?
So, scrimmage last night went pretty well. We brought the energy right away. First play of the game, back-to-back big hits, good plays. Of course, we had a couple struggles in moments, but I feel like we've been building pretty well.
In practice, everyone's electric, having fun, and just having fun with each other and making plays against each other and just bringing each other up.
During practices, we all have fun. Everybody's doing what they need to. We're all learning together. It's just a whole big family that we all learn together with.
Got another question for the players here. Now, you guys were, we've been asking a lot of teams, what's maybe a game this season that you're looking forward to most?
Definitely Fairview and Tinora.
Fairview, Tinora, and Edgerton, the only teams we lost to in the regular season.
Fairview and Tinora, definitely.
Hey, Coach Menzie, every successful head coach has a successful assistant coach. Who are some of your assistants that are key to you and you lean on to?
It's been really good. We had a little bit of change there in the first couple of years, but Logan Doster, Jarrett Sitton has been taking over the defensive side. Jarrett played at ONU, so he brings some college experience there. The offensive side, Peyton Beckman, he was a quarterback at Paulding years ago. Got Joe Fisher, Hunter Kessler, which was an alumni of Paulding, and he also played college. So we got a lot of depth. We brought a few more on. Kyle Stuckey, Bryan Egner's doing running backs, and we got a pretty good sized coaching staff, and it helps out when you kind of spread out that wealth a little bit and get more one-on-ones versus your smaller coaching staff kind of got to double up duties.
Coach, I got another question for you. You guys, again, have had a lot of success the last 2 seasons. What are some of the biggest points of emphasis this offseason that you're taking in order to maybe make a deeper run in the playoffs?
Well, I don't know about deeper run. We just love to get there again, So, but the emphasis we got to get is just one game at a time. So, to be truthful, I think we got a little bit lax on the Edgerton game. They come in there, they put it to us. I'm not even going to try to give excuses on it. We was off that game, but prepare the preparation. The kids understand what it takes when they declared that 12-team playoff system. So now it's going to tighten up the ranks a little bit. So I think it's an eye-opener right now, and that's kind of the goal, is to go back.
Tony?
This is for the guys. What's your pregame meal? What's your go-to?
Well,
don't say McDonald's.
For lunch, I usually take Subway and then just drink a whole bunch of water throughout the day, and that's just about it till game day, till game time.
I would usually just eat school lunch and then just wouldn't really eat much for games. Maybe just a little snack, whatever the parent club brings for us to eat.
Definitely water, and whenever the parent club comes up, goldfish, Cheez-Its, all that kind of stuff. Rice Krispies too.
A lot of Rice Krispies.
Players, I got another question for you guys. What's one thing you guys maybe think this year's team does better than compared to last year's?
The bond. The bond is 10 times better than it was last year. We're all, how they've been saying, it's a big family. These last couple of years, I mean, we've had our groups here and there, but everybody is usually talking to one another, having their own special bond.
And having that bond at practice, it just makes you want to be there more and have fun with each other because we're all friends together and we just hang out.
Yeah, talking about last year, I mean, during practices, every now and then, people would break up into their different groups. This year, it's not like that. During practices, everybody's together. Everybody's having fun together as a family.
Is there anything you guys do off the field to bond? That's where I think that's probably where it starts.
Every Thursday we go to B-Dubs. Go eat a whole bunch of wings, and then every now and then we'll go out and hang out, go golf and stuff like that.
Everyone seems to love B-Dubs. I think one of the other schools said that too.
Yeah, we'll just always be hanging out with each other, even outside of practice, and just doing stuff like that.
Hanging out with each other. So far, every single year, we go to Pine Lake as a team bonding as a family. It's pretty fun out there swimming.
All right. I think we got one last question for you guys. Who's the most competitive player on the team, no matter the sport?
Definitely Blake Ronehouse.
Yeah, it's Blake Ronehouse.
Definitely Blake. He's competitive no matter what.
All right, good deal. Well, that concludes it from us. We thank you guys for coming out and wish you the best of luck this upcoming season. So good luck and have a good season. Last school of the kickoff show, and we have the Tinora Rams and head coach Eric Becker. Thanks, guys, for coming on. I'll let Coach introduce who he has with him here today.
Junior quarterback Owen Farrell, junior running back Cooper Rapolkel, senior wide receiver safety Parker Hancock, junior guard middle linebacker Kobe Bum.
All right, good deal. Let's get things rolling. What's the offseason been like for the Tinora Rams?
Early mornings, late nights. They come in the mornings. They worked on 7-on-7 stuff. Then we had lifting and conditioning at night. They stayed busy. They get 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off every weekend. Then 2 weeks ago, last week of July, we went through the acclimation process, and this week it's full go. Hit the ground running.
Players, what's the offseason been like for you guys?
Definitely trying to stay busy and stay active and playing multiple sports over the summer, just trying to dedicate to getting stronger and doing stuff on your own.
It's been a lot of lifting and just getting in the right headspace for the season.
Yeah, just lifting and getting better at what you need to know and learn the spots of the positions.
It's been difficult kind of balancing everything, but we managed to get through it.
Keith?
Guys have one of the tougher non-conference schedules. We've said that forever. How does that prepare you for the GMC?
It starts playoff competition football week 1. You know where you're going to sit early in the season. I know I've said it every year. If you can come out of the first 3 weeks sitting good, record-wise, healthy, historically for the program, you've made a heck of a run, and hopefully it leads to a long playoff run.
Tony?
Well, I mean, obviously, kind of piggybacking off that, obviously the Arch Bowl game last year was the last one, and that was a controversial thing and all that. But from then on, you guys just took off. I mean, so was that kind of a spark for you guys last year?
I think it was one of the first groups of kids I've ever coached that senior class was so resilient. You preach to the kids every year, don't give up, don't stop playing until the final whistle blows, the clock's hit 0. And that was one of the first times I can ever remember as a coach that those kids played 60 minutes every second of the game. They never let up. Outside of Liberty, Otsego was 4 points, and then Archbold was 1. So 5 points swung you from 7-3 to 9-1. Now on the other side of that, last second touchdown against Paulding, overtime win against Wayne Trace. You got to have some good breaks go. Early in the season, it didn't happen, and we just kept the boys going like, hey, you guys got to believe in each other, believe in the system. It's going to turn around. We're right there. And they believed in it. Fortunately, 3 of the 4 that are sitting up here were part of that team. So hopefully that carries on and they know what it's like to keep going.
Question for you, Coach. Last couple of years, you know, have ended in heartbreaking close losses to Winford and Cary in the first round of the playoffs. How do you take that next step to make a deep playoff run in Division 6?
I think having the schedule fall right. The last couple of years, you know, we've had, I don't want to say easy games going in because the kids had to play the entire game, but having that rough non-conference schedule to start, then the last couple, it's almost like I don't want to say taking a game off because you're not taking a game off, and that's not the mentality going in. It's just the level of competition. Week 10, the last 2 years, is completely different than the level of competition week 11. And we just have to get better at getting the kids regrouped and focused and understanding what it takes to win that game.
For 2 years, Coach, we have literally seen anything and everything happen to you and Tinora football. How do you and you assistant coaches and the players keep such a level head every single week, each and every week throughout the season?
It's kind of what life's taught me. Bad things are going to happen, and it's out of your control. You can't focus on the bad. You just, when it comes to officiating and officials and bad calls, there's nothing you can do. The kick against Archbold, there's nothing you can submit that's going to change the outcome of the game. You just have to move on. So that's one thing we kind of try and put on them is just move on. There's going to be bad calls. There's going to be mistakes. Somebody's going to make a bad play. We've seen it happen. I don't know what it is. It's Tinora football history. If it's something bad's going to happen, it's going to happen regardless. So just don't focus on the bad. Go out, do your job, and live for the next play.
Graduation hit you guys hard again. It seems to do every year. We lose great players at Sonora, but somehow you guys are able to rebuild. What's the mentality behind it? How are you able to do that?
Every year is different. Very few years do you get 3-year starters. Now, with the way graduation rates have gone, numbers coming in, we've got a lot of kids as sophomores who could use that extra time getting themselves, getting their mind right, getting their body right. This is one of the first years we're going to have to throw a bunch of those kids in to where it's like, hey, you got to be ready. You're going to have to play big boy football. And we really haven't had to do that in the past. The kids have had time to mature mentally, physically, come through the program, understand the system. And this year, I'm not saying that we're going to take any less on the kids. It's just, unfortunately, the senior class has been a small class since they were freshmen. There was 11 of them as freshmen. There's 5 now. There's 8, 9 juniors. Those 2 classes from the time they started playing tackle football were small. And we knew that coming in, and you have to give these young kids opportunities, and we understand they're going to make mistakes. We started a sophomore on offensive line last year who from the beginning of the season to the end of the season improved tremendously. It's just, you've got to be willing to let them play through their lumps when they're young, and hopefully it translates. There's no better experience than game experience to me as a coach. We can run through stuff 100 times in practice, but until you see it the first time against somebody who has bad intentions against you, it's not going to sink into your head. So that's kind of where we're at and what we're looking at.
Players, I got a question for you next. Well, two questions. We'll start off with this one. What's the team's biggest strength heading into this season?
I think our offense looks very well, and our line has come a long way from the beginning of the season. So I think we just have to give each other confidence on offense. Just, I guess, do what we do.
Yeah, I think we showed in 7-on-7. Our offense is pretty well built, and the line is improving a lot. So, yeah, I just want to see how it plays out.
Yeah, like piggybacking off those two, our offense is definitely our top thing of our football team. If we give Owen time, then we're going to succeed.
Yeah, we got a pretty good quarterback, and as long as we give him enough time, he'll deliver for us.
Second question I have for you. This one's a fun one. If you could describe your coach in one word, what would it be?
Hard-headed.
Be careful.
Hard-headed. I would say hard-headed.
I'd say resilient.
Let's go with relentless.
I think we got time for one or two more questions. We'll wrap things up.
Previous teams that were up here, guys, circled one game on their schedule, and it seemed to be you. Is there any game that you guys have circled on your schedule? And how do you feel about the bullseye that appears to be on your back this year?
I'll just say the main focus is just week 1, and then go from there, I guess.
I'm really looking forward to Fairview for sure, and Ayersville always should be good. So,
Yeah, definitely Fairview and Ayersville.
Yeah, we're gonna take it week by week, but Fairview's for sure circled.
Tony?
I'm good.
All right. I got one more question. Coming off a GMC championship last season and riding a 12-game conference win streak, how do you maintain that streak in the conference?
It started last week. The practices, it goes back. You got to practice. You got to get the reps in. We got to develop the kids. And then you get into the preseason. We were at Fostoria this morning, scrimmage Fostoria and Toledo Rogers, two drastically different teams. Toledo Rogers 5 wide, throw the ball around as fast as they can. Fostoria, kind of what we're going to see against Seago and Liberty Center, line up, want to smack you in the face, run the ball at you. Then this coming Friday, we have Elmwood, and they're kind of in between. They're kind of a mold of what like we are. They spread you out, but they still want to run the ball. And you have to take it week by week, but understand the tradition of what our school is. What was set before you, what was set before me, what came before me as a player, the 91 and 92 teams that won the first GMC titles after being in the conference and just being kind of a doormat for 16 years. And Coach Eicher turned the program around and got a couple GMC championships. Coach Anderson came in, had me for 4 years. We made the first playoff appearance in school history. And then Coach Krause came in and just completely remodeled the program and ran off one of the best records and best streaks of anybody in the area, and that's undeniable. I fortunately get to come in and ride those coattails and put my fingerprint on what was already there. The standard is win GMC titles, make the playoffs. That is the goal year in, year out. Now we need to really start focusing on getting back to that regional final, giving ourselves a chance to get in that Final Four and make a push for a state title.
One final one for the players. One song you can only listen to get you pumped up before a game. What are you listening to? Got to name one.
Dreams and Nightmares by Meek Mill.
Superstar.
I guess it just depends on the game. I don't really have a set song. I guess it depends on the mood, I guess.
All right, we'll wrap things up. Thank you guys for coming on today, and we wish you the best of luck in the upcoming season. So,
thanks for having us.
Give it up for Tinora. All right. Hey, before you guys leave, make sure you guys get food. There's plenty left. So get a plate. There's food inside. Just kind of wrap some things up. This pretty much concludes the NWO Sports preseason kickoff show. Just want to thank all the sponsors for supporting NWO Sports, our title sponsor, Batt Stevens Body Shop, also for donating $200 to the football team that brings the most players, coaches, fans. Platinum sponsors, DeLarber Concrete and Hauling, Kuhn Truck and RV, Marco's Pizza, Burkholder Taxidermy, BSN Sports, our gold sponsors, and Rep Rosebrock, the Drop Zone Pizzeria. Just want to thank Harvest Moon for allowing us to host this event, Brothers Tacos for catering, my dad, Mike Bailey, for cooking the pork. Also thanking all the family members, my wife, who's helped me out tremendously with all this, and Grace, my parents, Mike and Stacy, in-laws, Josh and Julie. Thanks to these guys up here, Keith Brown, Tony, and AJ Fairchild. They're the guys that help make this thing go. So without all their efforts, this wouldn't have been possible today. So stay tuned for the next NWO Sports Podcast Football Edition. Thanks for coming, and make sure you get food.